development of full artificial intelligence could spell the end of the human race.
It's a flying object, and we don't know what it is. I would hope somebody is checking it out.
I don't know whether rockets or whatever, but incredibly fast, opposite direction. They were too fast to get out there.
I'm glad the Pentagon is looking at this, because if it poses a threat, I want them on top of it.
Well, the craft generates its own gravitational field.
So you said there's light in the sky?
The internet has become the command center for criminals and terrorists.
911, what's your emergency? I need help, please help me!
Aliens won't let it happen. You know, that's what we're instructed to say.
Roswell, Area 51. Alien kept deep under the ground.
1, 0, 1, 1, 1, 0, 1,
is self-serving. You're here for a reason. You're listening to Troubled Minds Radio.
Broadcasting live from a secret bunker just off the extraterrestrial highway. Somewhere in the desert sands outside of Las Vegas. From somewhere in space-time, loosely labeled Generation X on planet Earth. And asking questions of you in earnest into the digital darkness. Good evening and welcome to Troubled Minds Radio. I'm your host, Michael Strange. I'm here with your co-host, Ash, the reptilian from Mars. And we'd like to say hello to all of you who might also have troubled minds. What's up, guys? It is Friday night. It is January 1st. Happy New Year. Ringing in the new year with some Skynet. Skynet 2021. Oh boy. We made it, guys. We made it. 2020 is over. No need to worry about jinxing it anymore. We're here. We're here. We've done it. We did the impossible. If you're listening to this, congratulations. But it's not over yet. The battle continues, and so the shows continue. If you're new, this show is about all the things we're not allowed to talk about. Aliens, conspiracy, the paranormal, everything in between, the 24-hour news cycle, the technocracy, censorship, the government, academia. It's about all of those things kind of rolled up into one, and we have a chill stream and have a good time and talk about all this stuff. This show's live, if I hadn't mentioned. So if we do this live, we've always done this live because we like to include you. We've got a phone call coming in a little bit here. So we may take a phone call early, but because Joe has sent his buddy from Florida to call. So everybody is welcome to call into this show. It's a long-form talk show. We do this for 3 full solid hours with just a quick little break in there. So we do this live to include you because we want to well, more takes is better, right? Like I always say, we crowdsource this show. We get together, we talk about these things, and I'm one person. Ash is one alien, and so we can only get so much information from ourselves, so we need help. And so that's why we do it live. That's why we'll always do it live. And so if you want to be part of the show, it is Friday night. It is the first day of 2021. And Happy New Year, 702-957-1037. That's the phone number. One more time, 702-957-1037. That is a Las Vegas area code. And so if you don't like the long distance, we also have a Discord channel working, which is completely free. You can actually be on the show using Discord as well. So join the Discord server, and you can find the link to join Discord at troubledminds.org. That's the official website. So go there. Phone number's there. Discord is there, and you can be on the show. Super easy peasy, and we'll get you on the show. So, okay, so the deal is we cut out the news. So what we're going to do is we'll do some quick shout outs, take some phone calls if we phone lines open the entire time, so you guys are welcome to call whenever. But what we'll do is some shout outs. We'll read chat as we go, and then we're going to talk about Skynet tonight and our robot overlords. Many of you probably saw, and if you watched the news show, the Conspiracy News with Michael Strange, we talked about the robots dancing. So we're going to see what that portends for the future here, and that's what's on deck. That's what's going on. And let's see. Okay, if you guys want to send me stuff, send it to troubledmindsradio@gmail.com, and that will get to me. So, okay, so anyway, I know Ash is there. I see him muted, so I'm not sure if he's... I'm here with your co-host, Ash the Reptilian from Mars. Are you there, buddy? Okay, if you're not, that's cool. Whenever you're ready. There it is. Whenever we're ready. Hey. We're ready for you, buddy. How you doing, my man?
I'm doing good. How's everyone else doing? You guys all doing good tonight? Ready for the new year? To set the tone, right? You know, like, let's clean our plate here. Let's put our sins and our troubles in the past, have a drink, and just welcome a new year. Let's just have amnesia from this point. Let's not even remember it even happened. We're moving on. Next year, it's all up from here, man. Killer AI robot Skynet. Let's go.
which is the topic tonight. So we're gonna be talking about some AI and again the robot overlords and how maybe this kind of fits into what's going on. So we will do shout outs. If you guys want to shout out, just type in the chat where you're listening from. And also pro tip, like I get a lot of hate for doing shout outs, right? Like I've been accused of or this group of being a bunch of 14-year-old girls and whatnot. Well, pro tip, like we're pretty consistent. So if you want to just skip all the shout outs and you like listening on an archive, just skip to like 20 minutes in. I mean, you know, we have that technology these days. You could just fast forward, but it is a social stream, and we like to include you. So that's what's going on. So go ahead and type in the chat where you're listening from. We will do shout outs, and then again, the phone lines are open. So if you want to be part of the show, 702-957-1037. Click the Discord link. TroubledMinds.org is the official website, and you can be on the show that way. And yeah, all right, all right.
That's an interesting point. You know, you say we have the technology to skip videos. You know, someone from the future probably skipped 2020. You know, they went back and they looked in the little cliff notes. They're like, nah, screw that year. And now here they are, Mike. They're listening to the first show of the year. They
exactly.
Skipped 2020.
Yeah, why not?
That's what we need. That future tech, man.
That would be sweet. Time travel. I was just watching that Back to the Future a couple hours ago on TV. So yeah, it fits. It fits.
Yeah, we just need the flux capacitor, man. Just skip times. You know, it's like, oh, I remember back then there was this show, that show. All right, there's that disaster. Let's skip Fukushima. Let's skip that. Let's move on to the next thing. But I mean, wouldn't it be crazy to go back in time and like visit, like, you know, like when Jesus was around, or Colosseum fights? It'd be super interesting. And I know if time travel ever exists, then it already exists and someone's already doing it. So I'm sure you've done a show on that. Anyway,
probably. I think at some point. Definitely at some point. Okay, let's do quick shout outs and then we'll get moving here. Let's start on YouTube. Let's do it backwards, because since we do live in the upside down after all. What's up? Eli gets first on YouTube. Thanks for showing up. Super Vike a close second. Our thumbs down captain. Thanks for being here tonight. GameBet02. What's happening? Has the night off. GameBet says Happy New Year. I'm glad you don't have to work tonight. Super Vike. Let's see. GameBet Sultan Grill 76. Hi, I'm in Facebook jail again. well, welcome to D Live. Alan, what's up? Thanks for being here. Only 11 minutes late this time. No problem. We got time for you. No sweat. You're just in time. Let's see. Alan, evil electronic virtual intelligence. Google it. Axel, what's up? I'm here for at least a while. No sweat. Thanks for being here tonight. Let's see. What else do we got? Shut out. Use the Z word. Get you Facebook jail. I told you, don't use the Z word to get you Facebook jail. There's no doubt about that. Let's go to Facebook. We got Diane. We got gets first on Facebook. Thanks for being here. We got Remy with a close second. Happy New Year. We got William from Singapore. We got Joe from Florida. Lewis, Happy New Year. Thanks for being here. We got Benjamin from Mars. Hello. OG Todd, thanks for showing up tonight. Let's see. What else we got? Derek. Hi, Michael. Hello. How are you? Hey, there's Ash. Ash is in the chat, too. Holy shit. What's up, Ash? Ash the Reptilian from Mars. We got Elizabeth from Oregon. Thanks for being here. We got Raul. Happy New Year from California. Thank you. Millie. Happy New Year from California as well. Thank you. Elizabeth says, hi, Ash. You're a good alien. You're a good alien. Joey, hippie New Year. Jimmy,
hold your opinions until I invade.
Exactly right. You never know how this one's going to end.
Age well. Not going to age well.
Don't. The internet is printed in ink, by the way. So yeah, you're locked into that, I guess. Hippie New Year says Joey. We got Jimmy says Happy New Year. Thanks for being here. Derek says Marty. The flux capacitor ain't working, and that's kind of it. That's what it's all about. This is not time travel tonight. It's about Skynet tonight, and we're going to talk about that. But okay, so again, if you guys want to be part of the show, that winds it up. If you people show up fashionably late all the time, hell, I do myself. If you want to be part of the show, 702-957-1037. Click the Discord link, troubleminds.org, and there you go. Anything to add to any of that? Any of the blah, blah, blah of the beginning, Ash, before we get going here?
No, it's good to see some of the familiar faces. Love hearing from you guys. Glad you're around. And, I've gotten to have a lot of like one-on-one conversations with a lot of you, and it's really refreshing to like do we're at a really crazy time in history, and so like things are nuts, technology and spirituality and souls and aliens, and this stuff's really interesting, and it's good. Thank you for letting me be around, and thank you for joining the show. And call in. We want to hear the crazy stuff you guys have to say. We can't just be sitting over here saying crazy shit by ourselves, right? That just makes us crazy. But if there's enough of us, then it's just the normal. So call in. We want to hear what you have to say, and this show is about you guys, and we love hearing from you. And man, we've had some good calls over the last year or two, and it's it's always a pleasure.
Definitely good stuff. Game Bad O2 says Facebook sucks. Amen. Those are your words, not mine. For the censors that are listening, I would never say that publicly because, well. Well, I think I have actually. Okay, so anyway, let's get going. We got this phone call coming in. Let's take this phone call. I'm pretty sure this is going to be from Florida. So we got a little bit of some UFO sightings going on here. So I think if I'm correct, this is going to be this particular phone call. So we'll take this in just a sec. And again, if anybody else wants to be part of the show, you know what to do. 702-957-1037. Click the Discord link, troubleminds.org, and it'll put you on the show. And just 1 sec, and we'll get on. We'll get this phone call as it finishes screening. And again, UFOs. All good. That's right down our alley. So if you've seen that type of stuff, we want to hear about it. And especially if you have pictures, we want to hear about it even more. So here we go. Let's actually take this phone call. And I believe this is Joe from Florida. Am I right?
Yeah. Hey, what's up, man? How you doing?
Fantastic. Thanks for calling in. This is everybody. This is Joe from Florida, not the Joe from Florida we're used to hearing from. This is a friend of the other Joe. Can we call you the evil Joe?
Yeah.
Is that okay?
Yeah. Say that again?
Can we call you the evil Joe?
Sure. Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, just so we can differentiate.
Nice, my kind of guy. I love it.
The evil Joe from Florida.
Yeah, I don't care. Whatever works.
Okay, fantastic. So first time caller, I appreciate you calling in tonight. But I got an email from you, and you seem to have had a sighting of some weird shit in the sky. You want to tell us about it?
Oh yeah, man. So okay. All right, sorry. Give me 2 seconds. Just trying to pack this blunt, and then I'll.
Cheers, buddy.
So yeah, so I was out. Thank you. Yeah, just getting high right now.
That's cool.
So I was out in Santa Clarita in California shooting a movie about 4 weeks ago, and we were up in the mountains there. We were shooting a horror film, and in the middle of, I don't know, it was about 3:30 in the morning, I think it was. We, a couple of our production people started fucking screaming and yelling like a bunch of Looney Tunes. And we were like, what is happening? And we couldn't see where we were because all the lights were towards us. So looking up to the sky, you can't see shit because of all the heavy movie lights. So we move out of that area and into where it's dark, which was only like 15 feet away. And right above us are these trail of lights. Now, there was about 50 of us on set looking at these things for about, I don't know, man, 15, 20 minutes maybe. They were moving quick. They were, it looked like the front one would disappear, and then the back one would disappear. The ones in the middle would stay lit. And we were trying to figure out what the hell was happening, because it looked like the ones in the front would fade away, but they weren't fading away. They were just disappearing. And I don't know. So I was the only one out of everybody on set who got anything on camera, and which is weird because I don't normally even have my phone on me when I'm on set. I just happen to have it in my pocket. And, you know, I took a bunch of pictures. So those are the pictures you have.
Yeah, so I'm actually flashing them on the screen here so everybody can see it on the stream. So what the hell is this? What the it appears to be like a long chain of lights, kind of snake-like in the sky. Like you said, they were moving quickly. I couldn't even begin to guess what this is. And
I would have to say that, okay, so if you know California, and you guys are from Vegas, so you probably know, the Santa Clarita Mountain chain is like huge, thousands of miles. It was bigger than the mountain chain. From end to end, it was giant. And it was in space. It was huge. Huge, man. It was the craziest shit I've ever seen in my life. And I make horror film.
Yeah, right? Exactly.
Yeah.
So okay. So looking at the pictures here, I don't know. So the first thing that would come to my mind would be the Elon Musk satellites, right? Those Starlinks. I've never seen them with my own eyes.
Me neither. I never even heard about this shit until that night. And people were like, you know, a few people were like, "Oh, that's Starlink," and I was like, "What the fuck is Starlink?" So clearly, I've been living under a rock.
But I don't know if that's true. I've never seen it with my own eyes. I don't know that it's that large, and I don't know that it moves quickly. Like, as far as I'm aware, from what I've heard, it kind of moves quite a bit slower than that, and they don't seem to be in such a straight line as this. I'm not exactly sure, but I've never seen it myself. But I don't know. What do you think it was? Do you think there's a chance for it to be that or something else entirely here?
Well, I don't know, man. You know, a lot of us were standing there looking at it, and, you know, my first thing I had was I had an instant gut reaction and almost got sick because I have a reoccurring nightmare that looks just like that. Okay, and it's you know, wherever I am in the dream, I'm outside, and all of a sudden I look up and there's a fuck ton of lights like that. And then it's a UFO attack in my dream. And this is something I've been having since I was a kid. So when I'm standing there and I'm like, you know, in the middle of making this movie and in the middle of a pandemic at the end of 2020, and I'm just like, I was like, yeah, it makes sense. Aliens attack. I finally got this movie going. I'm in the middle of the fucking mountains, and, you know, the aliens attack. Great, you know? And then a friend of mine who was on set was, you know, we just kind of looked at each other, and he's like, all right. He goes, I'm going to count to 10. And he goes, and make sure they're not missiles. Because his fear was it was incoming attack. Like, we don't know. We've been making a movie for like 18 days. We have no idea what's happening in the real world. So, you know, looking up, we had no idea. So one of our producers ran to the production trailer, got on fucking the internet, came out, and he goes, I think it's Starlink. He goes, it's the only thing that looks like that or whatever. And then one of our other production people came up, and she's like, no, that's not Starlink because Starlink doesn't run this way. And she like had a laptop up, and we're like, what? And like it showed the pattern of how Starlink moved, and this was running the opposite, the parallel direction, or the opposite direction of that. So like I think Starlink runs north to south. This was running east to west.
Okay, so it was verified on the scene. I got somebody in chat here. Superbike says we saw Starlink and it didn't look anything like that. So, but there's some corroboration to that story. Okay, so well, what the hell then? Okay, so this is weird. You've had dreams basically about this your whole life, and so are we making a case that we live in the Matrix right now? What's going on right now?
I don't know, man. I don't know, because here's the thing is that I was talking to my buddy Joe, who you guys talked to, and I was telling him, I was like, yo, look at these pictures. Look at this shit. And then he told me something about owls. And I said, what? And he was like, owls, you know, the owls are associated with UFOs. And I said, dude, the day that happened, I had gotten to set about 2 hours early with my buddy. and because we're shooting at this place called Lost Creek in the Santa Clarita Mountains. It's this huge empty riverbed. It's got all these rocks and really cool shit everywhere. So we were like, let's get in early, and we're going to go walk the riverbed up to the set, which was about a mile up. So we're walking, and out of nowhere, this giant white owl flies right in front of us and lands in the tree in front of us. And we're like, what the fuck? And it's like 4 PM.
That's a little weird.
So we move forward, and the owl moves to the next tree, which was about another 30 yards, right, to another big tree. Now, there's no fucking trees here. The only place the trees are, like, is in, like, the side of this riverbed and up on the edge of the mountain a little bit. But most of it's, like, dead mountainside, fire hazard. So he moves to the next tree, and we keep walking, and we're looking for whatever, rocks or whatever, we're being tourists, whatever. I'm like, I'm going to find a dinosaur bone. And so the owl moves to another tree, and it just kept moving from tree to tree. It didn't leave. It just kept backing the fuck up.
That's
so weird. We're like, this is the craziest thing.
And there is, okay, so there is.
We get the set.
Oh, sorry, go ahead.
The night moves on, right? Night's going on. Middle of this this scene, I'm watching the monitor, and this fucking owl, it's dark already. This owl comes out of nowhere, man, and swoops right through the scene and lands in the tree across the set. And, actors are like, what the fuck was that? And I'm like, I don't know, it's this owl. It fucking won't leave us alone. It's been here all day. And then that night we saw those lights.
That's a little creepy. And so
I don't know. I don't know what the fuck it was, man. I don't know. I honestly believe in extraterrestrial life, and you have to be kind of ignorant to think that we're not alone. So I don't know what it was. I think it'd be fucking cool if it was UFOs or aliens. It certainly was a UFO because nobody knows what the fuck it was. So,
Yeah, I'll look into the Starlink here.
I cuss a lot, bro.
No, you're good, man. You're good. You're good. So, okay, so let me ask you then. So there have been mentioning the owls. All right, so there have been like some links of maybe owls showing up in like notable UFO sightings, and the one that sticks in my mind most is the Flatwoods Monster. I don't know if you've heard of that in particular, but so Project Blue Book actually wrote off this alien crash landing supposedly with a monster that had multiple witnesses, and they said it was an owl in a tree because when they went back there, they had an owl sitting in the tree kind of right around the crash site. So that's kind of how they wrote it off, as like they saw the shadows weird and called the owl it was an owl instead of an actual alien landing type of specific thing. So I don't know specifically. Yeah. So it is a thing. Owls being around this type of phenomenon. From what I've heard, again, you'd have to go into the archives and try and find some similar cases to kind of line it up. But I have heard that, and it is a little bit weird. So let me ask you though. Regarding that, you said you were out there shooting a movie. Can you tell us what that is, or maybe explain to what you were doing, and maybe tell us some of the stuff you've worked on?
Yeah, of course, man. The movie's called Sorority of the Damned. It's a horror comedy. We just finished shooting, man, so we're moving right into post. We'll be editing for the next couple of weeks, and then we got to go into visual. So hopefully by the end of summer, it'll be ready to be presented to Netflix or whoever. But that's up to our reps. So it's a horror comedy. Shot in and around LA, Los Angeles area. I actually live in St. Pete, Clearwater area. So I went out there to shoot it. It stars Felissa Rose, who was in Sleepaway Camp and a billion other movies. And then a bunch of basically newcomers come on. We got a bunch of new actresses and that kind of stuff. And then myself, I wrote it and directed it. This will be my 10th feature film. Most notably, I did Stranger Things. If you saw season 2 of Stranger Things, I was a co-star in that.
Nice. Nice.
I played a nerdy scientist next to Paul Reiser's character.
Okay.
I get killed in the elevator by a bunch of demi-dogs.
Nice. Okay. All right. So
way to go.
Yeah, totally right. So you're no stranger to this type of stuff, stranger things.
Right. Well, for real. I mean, like, yeah, I'm a horror guy, man. So even before Stranger Things, I was a horror filmmaker. I had made a couple horror films, and so I love this kind of shit, the UFOs and aliens and string theory and quantum mechanics. I love all this stuff about time travel and other dimensions. And are we just living like in a matrix? Is this all made up? Like, it seems to, I don't know. Sometimes it seems like it all works too easily.
Yeah, you're definitely in the right place. We definitely cover all that stuff. I got a couple comments here I want to read you real fast. GameVet02 in chat says, I've seen owls a few times in the same locations I've seen UFOs. And he's legit because he's actually sent us videos of UFOs he's caught on video. He just sent another one that I haven't checked out yet. But like that, there's people out there, and this is why we do it live, because you can never really get like a good accounting of this, because there's always some sort of a gatekeeper like MUFON or the History Channel or this or that or the other thing. You get a nice source like this where everybody can kind of get together and share these videos or photographs, and it's unbelievable the type of shit you see, right?
Well, it's not the first time I've seen a UFO. It's the first time I got it on fucking camera, though. So I'm winning. Fuck you, UFOs.
There you go. Hell yeah.
Yeah. I have a video. I was trying to find Joe. Well, I guess this is the second time, so fuck me. I have another video. I was trying to find my buddy Joe, that you guys know, of a light that it was Christmas like 4 years ago. It came up in my Facebook feed because I put it up on Facebook. And I'm standing outside my house on my porch, and across the street above my neighbor's house, there's this blinking light, and it'd blink, and then it would appear fucking 8,000 miles away from where it was, and blink again and be back to where it was. And then it would blink and be completely 50,000 feet above it, and then it'd blink and be back above the house, and then it'd blink and it'd be somewhere else to the left or to the right or up or down. Didn't matter. It kept blinking in and out and going thousands of miles, clearly, because it's in the sky. You know what I mean? Like, so to judge where it's going is difficult, but I know where I live, so I'm like, that fucking thing's over the ocean right now. You know what I mean? Like, So I have that on video, and I don't know what that is.
It sounds compelling to me. Sounds worth it. Can you send me that video?
So
we can talk about it sometime.
I don't know how to. What?
Can you email that video over, and we can put it on stream and talk about it sometime?
Yeah, I need to find it, man. It came up in my feed like 4 days ago, so it happened around Christmas, and I was like, oh wow, that's so weird. And I showed my wife. I was like, look, another UFO sighting around this time 4 years ago. Interesting. And she's like, you should share that. And I was like, okay. And then I didn't, because I get high a lot and forgot. So
we
I don't know I don't know how to find the video again.
It's buried in the archive. Okay, awesome. I appreciate you calling, man. Any final thoughts before we move on here?
No, man. Thanks for having me on. If anybody wants those pictures, feel free to take them.
Okay.
Just give me credit.
Okay, you got it. I've got the photographs if you guys want them. I'll send you the files. So hey, Joe.
Yeah.
You are welcome anytime, my man. We stream Tuesdays and Friday nights. Please call back. Yeah, you sound like a lot of fun.
Yeah, man. I'll find that video and send it to you, man, and call back next week or something.
Okay, fantastic. I appreciate that a lot.
Yeah. All right, yeah, thank you, man.
Right on.
Thanks, guys.
Thanks for the call.
The world of UFOs.
There you go. There's Evil Joe. Appreciate it, man. Evil Joe from Florida with his space snake. There you go. See, we just made it even more weird. The space snake and the owls from Evil Joe. I appreciate the call, my man. Good stuff. That's exactly why we do this live. And thank you. Shout out to Joe. Everybody knows our other Joe from Florida. He's now known as the Good Joe. This is a friend. They're friends of each other, and so definitely a referral there. And I knew it was coming. I had the pictures ready to go. So if you guys want to do something like that, you have photographs or videos, send them to me, and we'll set it up and give you a little bit of time on the show, and you can talk about it and have everybody see what you've captured on video or photographs. So good stuff. Thanks again, Joe, and thanks again, Joe, both in Florida. Appreciate that a lot. All right, so let's keep rolling.
Joe
here.
squared.
Yeah, Joe squared, exactly. Did you get a chance to look at those photographs there, Ash?
Yeah, I like didn't really want to say too much. I study the abduction phenomenon a lot. Yeah, for a while, and it's a very familiar story. I've heard that story actually a lot, or read it. Super common. My theory about that is that when you see owls, that I don't really want to like kind of steer anyone into the wrong direction. A lot of times, people they start like being like looking into the stuff, and it doesn't end up going well for them. Like they don't really they find things they don't want to know about. You know, it's ignorance is bliss kind of thing. But yeah, a lot of times people are seeing owls and stuff because the beings, whether they're in their ship or they're literally physically there, are close enough that they're affecting your mind. And so like you see things that you shouldn't. And the whole owl thing is connected to the grays. Basically, it's like, the eyes set is similar. If you ever seen a baby owl, it kind of looks like a little alien. It's kind of weird looking, right? It's like, ugh, what is that? It's like, oh, that's a baby owl. Oh God, kill it. They're very similar. So it's kind of like, for some reason or another, they can like kind of beam a transmission into like a person's brain. And there's a very common story where people are they're driving along or they're outside or something, and they see like some light show, like some sort of UFO in the sky, right? And it captivates them, and for some reason they're kind of drawn to it. And then that is in correlation with abductions, like right that night or later or something like that. They're abducted. And a lot of times, I don't know, you don't never know if that's like the first time or it's like the 500th time. But usually if this stuff kind of happens to you, it happens to you since you were a kid, and maybe it happened to your dad and your grandfather. It's kind of like a family line kind of thing. So it's interesting. I'm not exactly saying that's the case with this. You know what I'm saying? Maybe it's coincidence. Maybe he's just near some military base and there's some crazy shit happening, right? But the whole owl thing's kind of weird. But then again, he is in the forest, so it could just be seeing an owl. Literally could be a coincidence.
Well,
so anyway, pretty
one are nocturnal, and he saw one in the daytime, so maybe it's a harbinger of what comes. So anyway, some good stuff here. All right, so let me read a couple interesting things from chat and a couple shout outs. What's up, Fred? What's up, Paul from Newcastle? I see you there. What's up, Penny? Thanks for being here. Penny from the UK. Everybody follow the Curious Bunny on YouTube. GameBed02 says, I have a similar experience with a friend. Every time the light would flash, it would light up the area as far as the eye can see, brighter than daylight. It would flash in a different area of the sky. And that's regarding the second UFO he was talking about there on the call. That's crazy stuff. I haven't seen anything quite like that. How about you, Ash?
I haven't seen shit.
Okay, so you've never seen UFO.
I've never seen any. Like, I wouldn't have known it if I did, right? So it's all just stuff in the sky. So I've literally never seen anything. I've never had an experience. I've had some ghost experiences, but they could be explained as well. So never personally had anything that would make me believe any of this stuff. So,
and yet here you are.
Yeah, and I'm like crazier than like they are. You know what I mean? They're like see it and they're like, oh, it's fucking weird.
Yeah.
And I'm like, go on the internet. I watch like a couple YouTube videos. I'm like, oh, I'm all in.
You've been radicalized by the aliens. That's for sure. Okay,
the alien propaganda.
Yeah, exactly right. It got to you. It got to you. Okay, so great call again. Thank you, Joe. Appreciate that. Both Joes from Florida. If anybody else wants to be on the show, again, we have open lines the entire time. We do it long form talk show exactly for this reason. We love to hear from you. Some of these great stories, some of the things you've seen. If you just show feedback, you want to say hi. That's why we're here. This is called transparency. Like I always say, it's important to me that you do it this way because we could do it in, we always say we could do it in a vacuum and. Record a little 30-minute thing and cut out all the ums and ahs and make sure everything's completely perfect. But then what fun is that? What fun is that, right? Big whoop. Here we are instead looking to talk to you. 702-957-1037. Click the Discord link, troubledminds.org. I said that a lot. That's why I'm fast. You can find both the phone number and the Discord link at the website, troubledminds.org. Okay. All right, so let's do our thing. Let's keep on moving here. Watching the phone lines, looking for you to hear from you guys. But let's start with Skynet, shall we? Let's if anybody's been paying attention to the news, you want to introduce this the dancing robots here?
Oh yeah, yeah. Someone posted it on Alien Facebook, and I was like, "Oh, lol! Look what the humans are doing," and they posted it, and I clicked on it. And if you guys aren't familiar with Boston Robotics, they're the most public. I don't know if there's any private companies, but the most publicly successful robotics company, and they've been releasing videos and demoing stuff for like a decade now, and some of it's cool. They've made like robotic suits that you can kind of wear to lift heavy things that are very unpractical, and they're tethered to like a huge ass cord. Then they kind of made this like dog robot, and they're like seen kicking this goddamn thing around. They just you kind of almost feel bad for it. Then they had like some videos of backflipping robots and all this stuff. And it's all been pretty interesting. And then they pretty much went quiet. And since then, there's been a lot of CGI videos that have come out, like fakes. So you're like, it's kind of interesting. Like you're kind of expecting the next level of it, but I was not expecting what I saw in the video. And when I watched it, I realized I was watching like literally history in the making. Whether it's like, and we'll get into this, whether it's bad or good. Let's put it on. Let's do it with the music. Can we do it with the music?
No,
okay?
I don't want to do it with the music because then we can't cut it to the podcast. So basically,
you want
they're
me
doing
to just sing.
Yeah.
I'll sing over it.
Yeah, why don't you sing? That's a fantastic idea. Here, I'll hum the music and you sing.
Do you love me? Do you love me, humans? Do you love me?
That's the song that's going on while they're doing this. And again, I'm going to link it and you guys can check it out. And so the only reason we're not doing the music with it is for that reason, because you ripped it at the podcast, you get sued, by the folks that own the rights to that music now. But anyway, most important is not the music. It's look at these robots and what they're able to do now. Look at the agility. Look at the choreography. Look at as they're clearly in sync with a dance routine to the music. And so, as we all know, and we should be aware of that, when things like this happen, maybe let's say they did this 100 times to get this perfect. You know what I mean? For all we know. But let's say they didn't, and they programmed it precision perfect and just hit play and ran some cameras around, and this is what we got. You know what I'm saying? So there's like who knows what level of what went into this, but it is a little bit terrifying if you ask me. I don't know. What were your how did you feel? Like what was your guttural sense when you watched this for the first time, Ash?
So like I don't know what's wrong with me, but I don't have like the technological pessimism that I probably should. So I was actually just honestly, I was in awe. I was like, wow. And those robots, man, those hips don't lie. They've got some moves, bro. Like I'm excited for robot dance-offs. And then it'll be like, all right, round 1, robot dance-off. Round 2, how many humans can you kill? Round 3.
Kind of, right? That's what we're looking at. That's where we're headed. Again, creepy stuff. If you guys haven't actually seen this, again, I linked it. You guys can check it out. I encourage you to watch this and pay close attention. What's up, Bailey? Bailey in the chat says, pretty sure those dancing robots are just doing a pre-programmed animation. And of course, I would expect something to that degree, except that I don't think that's the important part here. I think the important part is the agility that they possess at this point. I think that's the important part here. Notice though, there's like in the video, there's like a big, huge screen, like the humans are on the other side of this huge screen, right? Just in case, like what if one of these robots spurgs out and just runs in a straight line?
That. Yeah, what if it goes straight up BattleBots?
Yeah,
fucking crazy. It starts killing everything. Yeah, actually, I have a really quick segment about that. Not now, but we'll get to that in a little bit. And you'll there is a thing that terrifies me, and I don't think a lot of movies don't do it justice. Robots justice. They always have them slow and shit, right? But like when these robots, when these things get up to killing speed, it's gonna be insane. And whatever they're showing here, this is the public end. The military is always weaponizing everything. So there are killer robots somewhere on the other side, where I imagine those walls wouldn't protect you from shit. Like they wouldn't protect you at all. And they actually even had some of these. Do you ever watch Black Mirror?
Yeah, it's a great series.
I can only watch like a little bit because it trips me out because I know how soon a lot of those things are happening, and some of those things have happened since the start of the show. But they had an episode where like people were like fleeing and were in hiding, and they're just in hiding from robots, and they like activate and they just hunt you down, and they're able to follow your tracks and your heat signatures, and it's pretty creepy. And like we're pretty much already there. Like that's already possible from watching this video. So it's pretty crazy, man. Just like with any technology, it could be used for good or it could be used for evil. You know, the technology to some degree is stupid. It's like, but is humanity's spirituality, is the spiritual aspect of humanity keeping up with the technological advancement? I guess that's kind of the fear, right? Yeah.
Yeah, I think so. But again, I want to point out the screen, right? So they've clearly programmed the choreography, all right, perfectly, okay, to be in step with the song. Fine. But there's a huge freaking, like, presumably bulletproof glass screen between the robots and the people. They're like sectioned off because, of course, right? If a robot zigs when it should zag, it could kill somebody, right? Like, how much do these things weigh? Anyway, just kind of that's what I noticed watching it probably the second or third time through now. Like, you look above and there's people up above, you know, like one story up, and they're looking out these windows. You got to think these aren't just regular windows. Like that they know what's up here. Oh, geez. Okay, so anyway, like all of this is real. All this is real stuff going on. Yeah. No, but okay. No, so this is the thing. I know we've seen this. Like, this is not brand new. This is a few days old. But we want to hear from you. What do you guys think about this? Does this make you hopeful or pessimistic about the future? What does this make you feel like? 702-957-1037. Click the Discord link, troubleminds.org. And there you go. I'll leave the phone number up for just a sec. Okay. So with that, all right. So now we have these things that are, you know, programmed to dance. All right. This wasn't like a AI situation where they heard the music and then just busted into dance, right? Like, it wasn't like a freestyle sort of situation, right? Okay, I think that's pretty clear. But given all of that, does it? I don't know. The agility involved. How you feel? How you feel? And imagine now. Go ahead.
Okay. You know what? Let me do this little segment real quick.
Do it.
Yeah, this is exactly it. So I'll send you a link here. Elon Musk, okay, he tweeted this a while ago, but it's more relevant now than it's ever been. Elon Musk, in a few years, this was in 2017, robots will move so fast you'll need a strobe light to see them. So when you watch the Terminator movies, right? You think of these robots, they're slow moving. You just like run around them. You take out their legs, whatever. No. That's not what it's going to be. By the time you realize the robot is even in the room, everyone's dead. That's how fast they could move. So just to demonstrate this, tech executive and billionaire entrepreneur Elon Musk, so he took to Twitter Sunday night, saying the future potential of robots will be surprisingly and potentially very scary, and that it needs to be regulated. And so, you know, staying on this subject, Elon Musk went on Joe Rogan, and he talked about how he tried to get this stuff regulated, AI and robotics, because it's the marriage of the two that's really scary, because a dumb robot can be kind of overtaken, but a smart robot is kind of what we're scared of, right? So I have two videos for you guys just to kind of demonstrate this. This is the first one. And this is kind of the slower. This is like the baby version. Okay. So in this video, you can see a robot. It's using vision science, which is like basically, I used to work in Silicon Valley, so I know a little bit about this stuff. Vision science is like interpreting video data and deciphering what stuff is. So these things are very they're very bright, right? So that it's easy for it to decipher what things are. But you could see the kind of function of it doing, like, you know, packing stuff. This is kind of like the industrial robotic revolution that, you know, these people have been talking about for a while. It's coming around the corner. So yeah, take a look at this. It's pretty interesting. I mean, it is scary, but it's still like it's still like all it's like it's pretty amazing, right? I don't know. I can't find the words, but look how fast that damn thing is. Okay, so that thing's pretty fast, right? Imagine that's a knife. Right?
Whoa! You're having too much fun with that.
Yeah.
Way too much fun with that.
I want to click the button, Mike.
Okay, all right.
The murder button.
All right, the murder button. Oh. Okay, all right.
All right,
so,
now okay,
next one.
so that's pretty impressive. Now that ain't shit. That's literally nothing. Check out this video. This video is a tomato sorting machine. Okay, if you haven't seen this video, this is crazy. This will change your opinion on robots right now. It's sorting tomatoes so fast you literally can't freaking see it. So it's going fast. You'll see in the video it's going, and then it slows down. Now I want you to you see it. It's getting them all. It's got like 100. It's got like a 98% success rate. Now and then just check it out when they speed the video up again.
So it's what it's doing is as tomatoes fall down from wherever they're being dumped in, it's kicking out the green tomatoes from the batch. So the rest of the red tomatoes, the ripe tomatoes, they fall down while this machine is able to actually pick up in real time as they're dumping, right? Regular ass standard gravity. This thing is super quickly detecting green tomatoes and kicking them out at an unbelievable rate. This is crazy.
Yep. So imagine these are all guns.
Yeah, or exactly right. Yeah, I mean, like you said, the best dance off of all time. like maybe that's what's next.
Yeah,
Let's hope.
You have to slow it down to see what the moves were. It's like it's already done. So this is the thing. It's like robots can, they send so many bytes and bits at the speed of electricity, so they can interpret things a lot faster than we could, a lot more in a shorter period of time. Our systems aren't as efficient as them. So this is the scary part. They're like acquiring you as a target and shooting you before you even realize what's going on. So it's pretty nuts stuff. I mean, it's like awe-inspiring. It's like, wow, you can't even believe it. But it's insane that it's like it's here. It's just the things need to be put together appropriately.
Yeah, it's and again, so back to exactly what you're saying here is that this is exactly what Elon Musk was saying. So it's going to be able to move so quickly, you'll need a strobe light, and you can't even really appreciate how amazing this tomato sorter is until you slow it down. Because in real time, it just looks like a bunch of shit going and some tomatoes falling into a bin. But holy shit, man! This thing is accurate as hell. This thing is accurate as hell and terrifying at the precision. And I think that's the thing. That's where we're going here. That's what we're talking about. Crazy stuff here. Let's see. I got some links coming in. What is this? What do you got, buddy?
So there's some more like sumo robot fighting. The Japanese are already starting to they're getting ready to build their Gundams. They've always wanted to build their. So you can just put this in the background. This is just, you see how fast once they start the match, some of these robots take each other out, and it just goes right to the whole thing. Like by the time you realize what's going on, it's already over. So pretty crazy stuff. So this is kind of I'm not trying to scare everyone, but I want people to kind of understand at least this, right? Like, holy crap, this is crazy. I saw this stuff and I was like, whoa, I didn't think it was going to be like this either. So pretty nuts stuff.
Here we go. All right. So tonight we're talking about Skynet. We're talking about these dancing robots. That's, again, the agility is incredible. Somebody mentioned in the chat, holy crap, was that the robot balancing on one leg? Yeah. Yeah, totally. That's what was actually happening. And so not only that, let's see some other good comments here. Reading comments, guys. If you got good comments about this, if you want to be part of the show, we want to hear how this makes you feel about the future. Is this a good thing? Is this a bad thing? Are we going to have to implement? So now, just with that said, now Asimov's 3 laws for the robots, right? This is the type of thing that Congress should be talking about. Sort of having some sort of fail-safe. So, clearly in a Boston, was it Boston Dynamics? Is that the name of it? they had a screen up. They had like a barrier between them and these robots because, of course, if the robot zigs when it should zag, like I said, it could accidentally kill you. All right? So there needs to be some sort of safeguard here so that robots don't just accidentally freak out and start killing people, because it's possible, right? Because they wouldn't know. Like, how would they know to stop if they were just like, you know, like a let's say a RoboCop that saw people jaywalking and freaked out and started using deadly force instead and just started murdering people that were in the street. You know what I mean? Like, these are the types of things that are very possible. And so with this type of technology, so I don't know. I mean, wacky. So I'm linking this video if you guys want to check it out that Ash just shared there with these robot fights and how quickly they move. You know, that's like the sumo robot fights, and they're attacking back and forth. And this is Nutter Butters. This is Skynet, isn't it? This is Skynet. Oh dear Lord! All right.
I mean, so, imagine a little robot that's like these, and it's just like, it just gets on the highway and it's identified a target, and it just drives right up to you, takes out your tires. You know, like. It's pretty insane, and it's like, man, it's like we're right there. Oh man, we're right there. And I'm like, you know, this kind of stuff can be. I know it's easy to see the negative, and I hear you, but it's also like, it's also positive in a sense where, you know, a lot of Silicon Valley, these guys have their own religion, and they believe the singularity is coming, and I think Mike has some stuff on that later, but that at some point robots will kind of do the work, right? They'll be smart enough to do the work, and then we kind of all get to be like the elite, air quote. This is kind of like the religion that they're subscribing to, and over time we'll merge with the robots. It's like, if you can't beat them, kind of join them. So I don't know if I believe it's all going to be hunky-dory like that, but I don't know. There's a part of me that's like mad scientist, like, you know, just because we can, we should. Even though, like, you know, in every movie, it ends up being bad. Right?
And yeah, the Jurassic Park, right? Yeah, you were so busy trying to find out if you could, you never stopped and asked yourself whether you should or not. That's really kind of what this is. Yeah. Pretty nuts. Okay, so let's go to Skynet. So we've talked about Skynet in the past, right? As like kind of in a peripheral sort of you know, shit, Skynet's coming, right? Like the surveillance state is ubiquitous, and they know everything we're doing all the time, and all the rest of this, right? Except check this out. Check this out. It's a real thing. Yeah, that's right. This is from Science Alert. NSA leak confirms Skynet is for real, and this is old. This is from June 2015. All right, and I think kind of looking into this, it was a little bit more terrifying to me to find out how old a bunch of this information was. Where they were like, "Yeah, well, it's a thing, it's coming," and well, and now it's 2020, and we just had, you know, a really shitty year by probably all standards. I would pretty much assume. Well, I guess unless you're Elon Musk or Jeff Bezos, or, you know, like Bezos, one of the billionaires that just became, you know, it like stacked more billions to their war chest. But you know, for the rest of us, like for the common folk, it's kind of been a shitty year, right? I mean, even for if you've done well, it's, you know, like it's just the negative juju is not good. It is just not a good situation. I don't have to explain, but okay, let me read just some of this. June 9th, 2015, 5 years ago, over 5 years ago, Skynet, the fictional AI warfare system depicted in the Terminator movies, has over time morphed into a kind of pop culture slang, a tongue-in-cheek shorthand for people's misgivings over a tech-dominated dystopian future. But little did we know Skynet has been a real entity all along, with a new report indicating that the name is used for an actual technological surveillance program conducted under the watch of the United States National Security Agency, the NSA. The NSA. According to an article by The Intercept, Skynet is a very, very real NSA security program that monitors the location and communication patterns of suspects of interest by harvesting mobile network metadata and bulk call records. All right. Okay. The report details how journalist and long-serving Al Jazeera correspondent Ahmad Mufaq Zaidan was targeted by the Skynet system as a suspected courier, moving information between terrorist agents. In leaked internal PowerPoint presentations sourced by controversial NSA whistleblower and former CIA contractor Edward Snowden, the Skynet program is defined as a collaborative cloud research effort. Skynet applies complex combinations of geospatial, geotemporal, pattern of life, and travel analytics to bulk DNR data to identify patterns of suspect activity. All right, so now, okay. Like I say, full spectrum control. All right. So now imagine we have this. And not only do we have this, we have RoboCops. Like those dancing robots. So this gets into thought crime territory. That's really not in the purview tonight, but it kind of does, right? Like if you have enough data on people, it goes to mind reading. And if you can read their mind and predict what they're about to do before they do it, and then you can stop it with a robot that moves, so fast you need a strobe light.
Well, before that, next thing you know, you got Tom Cruise busting through your freaking window, like he's Tony the Tiger or one of these cereal box heroes, and comes in and he starts punching you in the face because you had a bad day at work or something like that.
Exactly.
It's crazy. Yeah, the AI stuff is pretty crazy, and it's a potential potent weapon, and apparently all the Axis powers are like racing against each other to kind of secure this new technology. And it's basically like the AI can process way more data than a human could. It can make connections that humans can't, right? An actuary is someone, I may be wrong about this, but is so I believe it's someone who works for like insurance companies, and they're constantly looking for correlations and data so that they ask you a certain questionnaire, right? And then based on your questionnaire, they can guess how much damage you're going to do, right? How much you're going to cost them as a company. So they're constantly looking for these connections. Well, AI can do that on crack. So if you write the software correctly, you can feed it like infinite amounts of data, and like you said, yeah, it can make interpretations about you before it can know you before you even know. And that's what a lot of people are upset about this giving up your personal data, because they're running it through these algorithms, and they're getting better, and AI is going to scale that even harder. And so that's how like they know, if you've been in a relationship for a certain long period of time and this and that and other things, maybe you should look at marriage rings, and your parents are married and you guys are in love, or you've been together for 4 years. Statistically, it's kind of dehumanizing, right? It's like it just boils us down to statistics, and it's like blah,
and the bell-shaped curve. Number. Humanity becomes just another bell-shaped curve in a statistics class, unfortunately. And it is. I think that's a good point. And so part of why we always talk about this stuff, and AI is kind of a recurring theme here on this show, is because I think you kind of boiled it down to exactly the point, Ash, is that it is dehumanizing in some way. And that at some point we have the ability to change our mind and not go with the flow, and not just randomly create some UFO show that ends up doing okay on the internet. You know what I mean? You change your mind. You're able to make these decisions yourself, and it's not a normal thing. It's not something that happens, but it happens. It's we should be able to make these decisions and diverge from these bell-shaped curves and be able to be individuals. And I think that's the biggest part of this, is it is dehumanizing, and it ends up statistically. This is the terrifying part. Now, when you start getting these data sets where they're able to determine what we're going to do before we do it, and then you start giving the data to academics, what ends up happening is the conversations are, okay, well, based on if we make this move or we make that move or we do this or we do that, policy-wise, only this many people die. And I think that's statistically the best way to go. You know what I mean? Like, these are the types of things that start happening when you have this much data about a population of the Earth, let's say. And it's gross. Like, it ends up becoming that just like whether you get treatment at a hospital or not. They're like, well, you're probably not going to make it, so just take him out back and put him in the dumpster. We'll spend our resources on other things. But I mean, damn it, I'm still an individual. Like if I got a fighting chance, I want a chance. It's just yeah. Anyway, sorry. Go ahead.
Sometimes miracles happen. It's kind of like the evil of efficiency, right? It's like this is kind of the argument against communist governments is they tend to be very efficient in their choices. So, let's say we've got an undesirable sect of our population, and then another, the elite, the people with capital, they need organs. Well, there's an efficient solution between those two things, right? And that's kind of like what the CCP party has decided. And that's kind of like what makes them evil. Like, oh, we'll just sell, these Muslim people's organs, get rid of them. We're solving that problem. And we're selling their organs to people who need them, the elite, who serve the greater good or whatever they would claim. And that's kind of like where evil comes in. It's like efficiency. It's like if things were just maximum efficiency, then there would be no experience. There would be no like living. And that's like the double-edged sword with technology as we move forward. And so these technologies are already wreaking havoc on our culture, our society, and it's like, can we keep up spiritually? Can we keep our egos, our identities? I was just thinking today, man, it'd be nice to just like, grow some food.
Yeah, right.
Just like simple.
Yeah.
It used to be just like you try to get food and water, and that was like what you did all the time. And then you like, if you killed an animal for its meat, you did it with your bare hands, and then you like wore its skin, and so maybe that's what this whole universe is. We're like, we've gone all the way to the end, and we realize it's the simple things, and now we're in like our own little matrix. And then every time technology gets to a certain point, we just reset this little matrix, with a catastrophe, and then we get to live a simple life again. I don't know, who knows, but it's pretty crazy. Losing the individuality is definitely a concern.
The terrifying part. I'm going to just piggyback on your growing a food situation there. I got some close friends that they listen to the show. Shout out. I don't know if you guys are listening tonight or you're going to listen on archive. But they live in the state of Nevada, known them for a very long time. And they've got chickens. And, like growing your own food, if you have chickens, you get free eggs every day, don't you? Every single day, them chickens are laying eggs. And talking to a friend of mine, he's like, yeah, well, we have more than we can eat, and we end up sometimes giving them away, sometimes selling them. But I mean, this is like a resource, right? Like you said, growing food, this type of thing, like back to the farms in the old days. It's just, it just seems like I think this is probably one of the places we should head. Crazy stuff. Great comments in the chat, guys. Keep them coming. If you want to be on the show, this is live. We're talking about AI. We're talking about the dancing robots, if you've seen it, from Boston Dynamics, and where this might lead us into the future. And it's not all gloom and doom. I think that's the thing, right? I think Ash also pointed it out. It's like, look how fast they sort them damn tomatoes. You know what I mean? Like, the efficiency is incredible, but I think just like everything else that is run by humans, we have to be aware of the corruption element, right? The evil element of people. Where, okay, sure, it can sort tomatoes like an MFer, right? But that means it could do any other thing that fast as well. All right, so just think about all the terrible things you could do at robot speed that would be really, really bad. Great comment here, chat. Alan says all. Wait, was it Alan? Hold on, where'd it go? Those chat scrolls too fast. Somebody said all robot. Wait, come on. Oh, it's so good. I can't do it. I can't find it. All right. Anyway, all robots. all sex robots fake it. There we go. I think that was a comment. It had me laughing. Okay, anyway.
Funny.
That's a good comment. If you want to be part of the show, 702-957-1037. Taking whoever. We don't screen calls. You just dial the number to get on the show. Tell us what you think about this. Again, like I said, we can sort tomatoes like an MFer, and it's cool, right? But then when things start happening where things that are detrimental start happening at astronomical rates, then we have a problem, don't we? I think that's the danger here and why we talk about this. You can also join the Discord, troubleminds.org. Click the Discord link, 702-957-1037. All right, so there's more. There's more here regarding Skynet. Now, you've heard of Skynet, right, Ash? Of course you have. Terminator movies, the whole deal.
I'll be back.
I'll be back, man. I'm looking for
Terminator 2 is... Dude, Terminator 2 is a great movie. It's like... it's kind of like... It feels like one of them brainless action flicks, but go back and watch it. It's like, damn, they don't make. I hate to be like that old boomer guy, but damn, they don't make them like this anymore. It's a great movie, man. I love it, love it.
They don't do it like they used to. Yeah, that's for sure. That is for sure. All right, so here we go. Skynet is a family of satellites, right here from the. I'm going to just burn through a couple of these real fast, and we'll get to some other stuff. But okay, so Skynet is a family of military communication satellites now owned by Airbus Defence and Space on behalf of the United Kingdom's Ministry of Defence, which provides strategic communication services to the three branches of the British Armed Forces and to NATO forces engaged on coalition tasks. The Skynet 1-4 series was operated by the Royal Air Force until 2003, and subsequently operated with Skynet 5 by Paradigm Secure Communications until October 2012, when the organization was rebranded to Astrium Services. Now, think about how far back this goes, right? The term Skynet, we're talking about 2012 when it was rebranded, and that's really kind of the end of the purview here is Skynet 5. So we're talking about kind of 2012-ish. And so, of course, the most current versions of this are going to be classified. And so the real details, what's going on out there, is another question. All right, so this is by the Huffington Post. So we're going to just go through some Skynet here and get your thoughts on this stuff, Ash, and then we'll get to the second half here. So we are going to get to aliens tonight, guys. So we do have some. Don't we have some alien stuff to talk about, Ash?
I had some. I was going to sneak it in. Are you looking at my links?
I'm looking at your links, man. I'm looking at your links.
Yeah. I was going to sneak it in. You caught me.
No, we're good. We're good. Come on. Really? Come on. This show's about aliens. How are we going to not?
It's relevant. It's very relevant.
It's relevant.
It's very relevant.
Okay.
It is.
All right. So we're going to get there. If you're looking for, if you're tired of robots already and you want aliens right now, oh, there we go. Paul from Newcastle says all sex bots fake it. There you go. There's a comment. All sex bots fake it. Okay.
You got to make sure he got his credit.
Exactly. Yeah. No, I no,
for that comment.
I had to find him. Man. I found him. I couldn't find it because I had to scroll up. But okay. Anyway.
Wait. So before there, it's funny is I always thought like, oh, sex with robot, that's so cringe. Oh, that's just gross. Whatever. Have you ever seen Westworld?
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah.
I was like, oh man, totally 100% on board. Like no if it's like that, hell, okay, all right, you got me. I mean, it was so crazy. I flipped so hard. It was like literally before I watched, I was disgusted with the idea. And after watching like even just like 15 minutes, I was like, all right, I see it. But it's not real though, right? So like there's it's whenever you kind of like steer away from your biology, it tends to like be negative. It has a negative impact on you. You're not synchronized with your millions of years of experience. So I don't know. I think banging robots has its limit, I guess is what I'm saying.
What's up, Madib? We got Kate, Paul from Newcastle. I don't think I said hi. Alan says, nope, not banging robots. There you go. All right, there you go. We got one.
Gotta watch
emphatic
Westworld,
no.
Man. Watch Westworld. I'm telling you. I mean, I have a few of my favorites on that show. I'm just saying, watch it. Watch a few episodes to get back to us.
All right, there
Tell
you go.
What you think?
Then we'll see if we can change your mind. Okay, here we go. All right, so 5 ways Skynet is more real than you think. And this is from 2017. Number 1, it's being used by the military as a dual-use technology capable of great good and great harm, AI is most controversial when it comes to its military applications. Battlefield robots and drones are key priorities with other sci-fi style technology like HAL, a suit that gives the wearer the power of 10 men, and Boston Dynamics Petman, an anthropomorphic robot used to test chemical protection clothing. Some believe developments like these signify an unacknowledged arms race amongst nations investing heavily in AI. Drones and robots are able to make the kill decision autonomously without human intervention. Like Ash said, the kill button. I want to press the kill button. I want to do it this time.
Beep, 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 beep. Just hit it repeatedly. It's like,
oh, you're like, oh, did I push it one too many times? Oh. All right, so without human intervention, will figure centrally into an international conversation about ethics and the nature of modern war. Even more controversial is the NSA's cyber weapon, Monster Mind. This intelligence system can not only intercept every digital communication in the U.S., but also identify threats and independently launch strikes. Sound familiar? If this isn't Skynet in real-life form, what is? Thoughts on that, Ash?
If you're since we're talking about good movies, I think I think cinema really does a good job of playing with these ideas and kind of bringing the morality to light. It's a really good classic from when I was a kid. I probably shouldn't have been watching it as young as I was, but it was called RoboCop. And RoboCop is, I'm not sure if this was in the original or the remake, but definitely people were not comfortable with the idea of robots like policing and having the ability to pull the trigger. So what they did was they bootstrapped all this technology onto a living person who was like messed up. He was a cop and he got like jumped by some gangbangers and they like really tore him up. And so they rebuilt him using this technology. So technically there was a human pulling the trigger. He was the one making the choice. So they basically were getting the population used to the idea, right? So that they can kind of accept it. And it's, it's an older movie too, kind of like dealing with these complicated things. It's like they knew what was right around the corner. And what the repercussions to that is that you ultimately give more power to the few, right? If there's like one kind of a jerk, right? And he's like, I want to kill everyone, right? Like back in the day, he would have to have a spear. So or whatever, some basic thing, you just whoop his ass, right? Everyone could just take him out. And I guess that's the argument against like guns. It's like one guy with a gun can do a lot of damage. And that's kind of why we kind of limit the amount of guns that a regular person can have. But when it comes to like the killing power of robots, I mean, if we're talking about what we were talking about, the robot, like literally ninja robot, like walk into the room and takes out like 100+ people every second. I mean, that's the kind of power that we're talking about. That needs to be regulated. There needs to be something in place to protect the people in the room from the guy outside the room from me pressing the button. We need something, right? And so with as some legendary person said, with great power comes great responsibility. I can't believe I did that. That was
Spider-Man, bro.
Yeah, I know. I can't believe I did it.
You're good. Okay.
Yeah, we need something, right?
We need something.
You can't. This stuff needs to be kind of held accountable.
I agree, and actually, let's burn through this real fast. This Huffington Post article, and then we'll get into the 3 laws of robotics from Isaac Asimov. This was back in 1950s. The 50s they were talking about this shit. Okay, here we go.
Crazy, huh?
Yeah, it's nuts. All right, so we have a little GIF here on this Huffington Post, and you see they drop a little board in front of the robot that's kind of like on a treadmill, and when they put the board down, it detects it and sidesteps out of the way. Right, pretty crazy stuff. It kind of in real time. It's happening decently fast unless they sped it up. It actually looks sped up a little bit, but still, right? It's able to detect these things and sidestep problems, right? Think on its own, and the further along we go, the more capable they get, as we see with the dancing robots. So here we go. Moore's law famously estimates that computing power approximately doubles every 18 months. By that measure, a computer with the processing power of the human brain could be a reality as early as 2025. 2025. And again, this was written in 2017. 2015, right? 2015. Okay. While some physicists think Moore's law may break down before that, computers with lightning-fast processing power have already emerged. How fast? To give you an idea, Ray Kurzweil estimated the total calculations per second the brain can compute at 10 to the 16th calculations per second. The world's fastest supercomputer, China's Tianhe 2, has surpassed that number at almost 34 to the 16th calculations per second. So, and this was again back in 2015 when this was written. So, yeah. So, and again, okay. So we'll get into this in just a sec, but then it starts to beg the question of consciousness. And since we have trouble even defining our own, how do we define it for robots? I think that's a little bit more scary. So number 3, it's getting smarter. And again, this is a 5 ways Skynet is more real than you think. And this was from 5 years ago, people. This is 5 years ago. And now we have dancing robots, right? It always starts out cute, doesn't it? It always starts out Gucci goo, like, oh, isn't that adorable? And then Ash starts smashing the kill button. Exactly.
Yeah, next thing you know, beep, 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 red button. I'm smashing my alien table right now.
Oh, that was the wrong button. That was the wrong button, Ash. Damn it. All right, part 3. While artificial intelligence is quickly reaching formidable computing speeds, one of its biggest challenges is developing the kind of complex processing that looks so easy when humans do it. For a computer, multiplying 2 10-digit numbers instantly is easy. However, looking at a dog and deciding whether it's feline or canine is incredibly hard. The Turing test was thereby developed by mathematician Alan Turing to measure a machine's ability to exhibit intelligent behavior equivalent to a human's. And this is kind of getting to, what was that Harrison Ford flick from the 80s? What was that called? The Turing test.
Oh, Blade Runner?
Yeah, Blade Runner. Yeah, right? Where they're replicants. They're trying to actually determine if they're human or not. And they need special agents that are actually practiced in this and know that what's actually going on. And because otherwise they can fool machines. They can fool... yeah, crazy, right? Anything on Blade Runner real fast? It's been a long time since I've seen that movie.
Yeah, I think I have to go back and watch it. I feel like it's the kind of movie you have to watch multiple times to kind of really get the nuances, right? And I watched the new one that came out, and it was like visually beautiful. It was like there's very little dialogue in the whole movie, and the plot was good, but it was really slow. But it was, I mean, it was a beautiful movie. But anyway, yeah, it's about iRobot's kind of about this. I love that movie, iRobot. If you've never seen it, it's similar. It's like, at what point is the robot alive? You know, so like in these robot videos, they're kicking these freaking robots while they're down and they're pushing them around. I kind of felt bad for the robots, but you know, they're just ones and zeros. They're just algorithms. They lack that what we would consider like consciousness. And at what level is it consciousness? And to kind of properly, and I guess the tests what these scientists have come up with is basically if it's indistinguishable from consciousness, then it is consciousness, right? If you can't tell the difference, then it's basically the same thing. So I think there's been a variety of different kinds of tests. I'm going to bring up movies. I'm just going to be bringing up movies the whole time. It's going to sound like a movie nerd.
That's fine. I
love movies.
We're good.
But I'm up here on Mars. I got nothing else to do. I just consume human media. But Ex Machina is about this, where he kind of invites a guy, and spoiler alert. Okay, but so he invites a guy to come check out his robot, and the guy ends up kind of empathizing with the robot and taking the robot's side. So, and then the result, the ending of the movie, spoiler again, is that the robot tricked him. It made him feel something for her. The robot was looked like a female, I guess, and tricked him into thinking oh, this is a real being and it needs help. And so at the end of the movie, he helps the robot to escape, and it just leaves him for dead. It's like, yeah, I'm a robot, dummy.
Thanks,
and
sucker.
It just walks out. It's like he got cucked. Is that the word? I don't know if I'm using it right.
I don't know either. I'm not young enough to understand. I just don't know.
New hip jargon.
Yeah, there you go. The jargon. All the millennials call each other cucks, and I'm not sure they even know what it means anymore. Okay, so anyway, here we go. Number 4. It's starting to look like us, although not exactly the Terminator. Schwarzenegger status, muscle and all. These robots from Japan are starting to look eerily like us. Geminoid F, created by Hiroshi Ishiguro, has 65 facial expressions and can smile, talk, and even sing. His goal was to create a robot that could fool people into thinking it's real. Mission accomplished. Now we have nightmares. Yeah. Here we go. Number 5. Sorry.
People are really good at reading. Yeah, people are really good at reading faces. There's a lot of our brain dedicated to that. So you could tell, like, you know, if someone's in a bad mood, or let's say someone had a murderous thought, evolution like helped us pick up on that. So even the subtle, you know what I'm saying? Like this, you could tell someone's thinking about a certain thing or not feeling well. So we could pick up on that. I mean, they have to really perfect the face of the robot. So it comes off as creepy, and it's really easy. But it is amazing that if you take a robot and you make it cute, like a dog, or like put a face on it, how quickly as a human you can like empathize and humanize those things. So it's kind of like a cheap shot, you know. It's kind of like, you know, it's
you mean
tricking the humans?
Oh, you mean like dancing robots?
Yeah. You know, if we were on a marketing team and we wanted people to be down for our murderous robots, we just make them, dancing. That's a good idea. We should totally do that, Mike.
We should totally do that. We should totally do that. We should make some dancing. Oh, wait. Yeah, that's right. They already did. All right. So anyway, and then the last point of this article, the five reasons why Skynet is closer than we think it is they cited Elon Musk as one of the elite that are forming an opinion against this. For numerous reasons, right? Like we said, again, I'm playing the Boston, what was it, Dynamics, Boston Robotics? I don't know. Hold on. Dynamics, right?
I knew before. Now I don't know.
Yeah, Boston Dynamics. So Boston Dynamics, they have these robots dancing. And again, I'm pointing out, look, on the right side of this, right on their screen, when you see it dancing, and they are encapsulated. They are closed off from the humans on the other side of this barrier. Why do you think that is? Because a misstep, a misfire, and they could accidentally kill some things, right? So again, this is important. These are heavy pieces of machinery, right? A misfire, a step left instead of a step right when you're walking down the sidewalk could mean somebody dead. Okay, like this is not just, you know, you bump into somebody on the sidewalk and say, "Oh, I'm sorry, excuse me," and no harm, no foul, and people move on. That's like if these things were walking down the sidewalk, they could kill you, right? It just like as we've seen with some of the even the Elon Musk cars, right? And how they sometimes misinterpret something and it smack into something going 70 miles an hour on the freeway, right? Like it's happened. It's going to happen. It's going to continue to happen until this AI is refined. But the same sort of thing, right? Like you can't program every single little thing into a robot, again, because if you do, then it becomes conscious, doesn't it? It's crazy stuff. All right. So hot takes on that. Anything on Elon Musk? We're about due to take a break here, a couple minute break. Everybody can go refresh your drink, grab a snack, some popcorn, or take a leak, or whatever you got to do. And any quick thought before we take a break there, Ash?
I don't know. I just, I'm watching this video. I took some breakdancing classes, and some of these robots are better than me. What the hell? Like, they got some moves, man. I'm kind of impressed. We like to talk about the negative of these things, and we should. We should be cautious of this stuff. But it is amazing. Like, it is amazing. And to be fair, with having the shield up, well, the robot could just be like doing something, and then a bolt flies off, and the bolt goes through you. So there are yes, I'm just trying to be a little bit fair to the manufacturers and the robots. Maybe the main precaution isn't exactly the robots going haywire and killing everyone. Maybe it's just an arm flying off or a high projectile bolt or whatever. But it is. I'm looking at this and I'm like, can't even believe it's real. like you watch movies enough, you watch CGI enough. There was so many comments on these videos like, "Oh, it's got to be fake. It's got to be CGI." And no, this is real life. This is 2021. This is real life.
Welcome to Happy New Year, guys. That's Skynet 2021, the name of the show tonight. All right, so we'll continue to work this video in so you guys can see it if you haven't seen it. It is impressive. I agree with you. It is impressive. And so, right, as always, we have the juxtaposition of technology, and is humanity going to use it for good or otherwise? And part of the conversation, why we talk about this, why we think it's important. Like, again, this show does not happen if we don't think it's important. You understand? This stuff is important. It's important that people are talking about it. And even though we're just some scrubs on the internet, we always, demean ourselves as just knuckleheads that don't know shit about shit. It's true. But you need to get it out there so people are thinking about it and seeing it, right? Like, this went viral. People saw these robots dancing, and it had that marketing effect, didn't it? It had that, oh, wow, the cute, like you said, make the robot like a cute little dog. And everybody's like, oh, wow, look where we're at. But holy shit, this is okay. It can be terrifying. Again, right? Given like the best intentions and honest people, this could be fine. Except, oh boy, yeah. All right.
It could not be fine.
It could not be fine. It could totally not be fine.
It could be fine. And also, I mean, okay, so the Black Mirror episode is literally like. It's so relevant now. Is they accidentally wake up one of the robots? They're like scurrying around. They're scared. You don't know what they're scared of, and they accidentally wake up one of these robots, and the robot like chases them down, and it can shoot you. It shoots and kills, and it's like a robot on all fours, and it can track you through the woods. Your footprint, your seat signature, your footprints. It can even drive cars. At one point, he gets in a car and starts chasing them and runs them off the road. And it's powered by the sun, right? So she hides in a tree for a day, waits till it's nighttime, and it runs out of energy. And then she gets down, she runs, and then by the morning comes, it's charged up, it's ready to go. And we have to be careful that we don't slip into these dystopian futures. Right now, we have to be extra vigilant. I really believe that. There's all these, we talk about all these conspiracy theories and all these things. And, every day that goes by, some of these things really gain traction. And we just have to be vigilant as a race to keep these dystopian futures at bay. Like, we have to be vigilant to be careful of these things and be aware of these warnings, I imagine civilizations have gone down these paths before, and the universe is huge. I mean, that's interesting too. Like, think about, is there like a race cataloging all the fails of all the races all over the universe? They're seeing these robots and they're like, ah, shit.
Like, humans, that goes down as an unfortunate extinction. Okay, so we're going to take a quick break, guys. We're going to come back and continue talking about this robots. We're talking about Skynet tonight. We're talking about these dancing robots, and we're going to get to aliens too, because just like Ash said there's some interesting maybe parallels. So I'll keep this rolling. You guys can watch this again. I'll link this, and you guys can watch it full screen. I encourage you to study it closely because, well, this may be the last thing you see one day. There you go, if you want to get really dark. But okay, quick break, 2 minutes. Go ahead and refill your drink, do your thing. We will be right back to continue talking about this, and we'll start off with not Moore's Law, but the actual, what's his face? The 3 laws of robotics. So we're going to get there when we get right back, and why this is important and should be, like, our Congress should be talking about this stuff. So, okay, here we go. 2-minute break. Be right back, and let's play this right here because this is amazing. think that needs to be the new break music. It's like pump you up. It's like 80s. It's like, and weird enough, it seemed like the monsters. Oh, did I say monsters? I mean, it seemed like the robots were dancing to it. Yeah, the robots, I mean, not the monsters, the robots. So yeah, welcome back. You're listening to Troubled Minds Radio. I'm Michael Strange. I'm here with Ashley Reptilian from Mars, our co-host, and we're talking about robots. We are talking about not just robots, this Boston Dynamics video, which has gone viral. Everybody's talking about this. Like Ash just stated before the break there, everything is Gucci goo, right? Everything, if you make it look like a puppy or a dog or let's say a dancing Terminator, right? It doesn't not make it a Terminator because it can dance. you see the upside down going on here. But yeah, so that's what's happening, and we are live. It's Friday night. We are into the first day of 2021. So congratulations if you're listening tonight. You've made it. You've made it to the milestone, the insignificant human milestone that we like to paint. But you've made it. You've made it. There you go. Like I said, don't ever celebrate New Year's with me because I'm a cynical asshole. But there you go. There you go. All right. So as we continue this, we are live, and we're looking for calls from you because this is a crowdsourced show. We do this live to include you. If you want to be part of it, you can call this number, 702-957-1037. Click the Discord link and join the Discord. You can find both the Discord link and the phone number at troubledminds.org. That's the official website. Everything is there. Troubledminds.org. You can find everything there in one spot. All the links to the YouTube channels, to the Twitch, to everywhere we stream, you can find everything there. So that's if you're looking to get more into the show, that's what you got to do. Troubledminds.org, 702-957-1037. And I don't know if you're back there, Ash. I'm going to keep on rolling here. Talk about the laws of the robotics here. Hold on. All right, so 3 laws of robotics. Now, this is actually from... we've talked about this in the past briefly. The 3 laws of robotics, often shortened to the 3 laws, or known as Asimov's laws, are a set of rules devised by a science fiction author, Isaac Asimov. The rules were introduced in his 1942. 1942. How many times do I have to say 1942? This is a long-ass time ago. A long time coming. And look, we haven't done shit about it. 1942. His short story Runaround, included in the 1950 collection I, Robot.
What year was that, Mike?
1942. That was World War II, guys. That was World War II. And there were no crazy actual robots stomping around back then, as far as I'm aware. But they were... Isaac Asimov was talking about these 3 laws. And now what are the 3 laws? The first law is, a robot may not injure a human being or, through inaction, allow a human being to come to harm. Second law, a robot must obey the orders given it by human beings except where such orders would conflict with the first law. Makes sense. You can't tell this robot to kill that person type of thing. It won't do it. Third law, a robot must protect its own existence as long as such protection does not conflict with the first or second law. Yeah. All right. All that makes sense to you there, Ash? Is that basic enough?
And the 4th law. It's more of a fact. Jeffrey Epstein did not kill himself.
Exactly right. I think we have to roll with that. I'll add that to the laws of robotics. But yeah, okay. I'm with you. But okay, so I think that's like if you're trying to be succinct about things, I think that's probably a nice way to boil it down, right? If you could bake that into every AI, I think it's a hell of a start. It's not perfect because what is, but it's a hell of a start. Like so they have some sort of fail safe, like I talked about this heavy ass 1,000-pound robot stomping down the sidewalk, steps left instead of right and kills somebody. Steps on a stroller and a baby's dead. These types of things, like they're possible when you're talking about huge machines. But if it actually has like a fail safe where it stops itself because it realizes it's about to smash this baby, then right, we have a different thing entirely. So I mean, this is what Congress is not talking about, right? They can't even get money out to people when they've shut down businesses the world over, and literally, like they have our bank accounts from the last time they sent money out, and it still takes 9 freaking months to get like jack shit. It's just unbelievable.
And I want to comment on this, and so I'm going to rip on both sides of this. By the way,
please do.
I see a lot of people. They're like, oh, Mitch McConnell ruined Christmas, or Nancy Pelosi is the devil. It's like, guys, like they're both shoving crap into the bills that they want and then using us as like blackmail pressure to force the other person to pass it. It's the way they play that game, right? And the game is the problem. It's like if you have a sociopath chessboard, well, it's going to draw in the sociopaths. So it's like, if you put food out, the ants are going to come, right? And it's frustrating because it's a genuine moment where we can all come together and just start getting the guillotines out. You know what I mean? Just start setting the guillotines up. You don't have to do anything. I'm not advocating violence, but you order one guillotine on eBay, you put it in the street outside of Congress. It just send a message. You know what I mean?
I think they did that. Didn't they?
I just read right before this, Nancy Pelosi had outside her house, there was like a pig's head, and it was like in her driveway, and it was like written with blood or paint or stuff all over her house. So, a lot of these like groups, they don't really have an allegiance, and so a lot of these politicians like to use groups, one day and throw them away the next. But I mean, they remember these kind of things. So anyway, the politics game, we don't really get into it, right? But I mean, we can all honestly say, like, how hard is it to just write us all a check when we pretty much, it's like 70 something percent of Republicans and 80 something percent of Democrats like are in favor. Sounds like the majority to me.
Yeah,
so
right, exactly.
Just write the freaking checks, keep all the other crap out of it, and they just literally can't do it. They can't do it, and it just shows they're inept, and that we should build robots to like go in there and take them out and then take their place, right? And set up the robot rules, and then we'll have Congress robots.
That's healthy.
It's funny I mentioned that. A lot of these kind of Silicon Valley religions, they believe that ultimately a general AI would be superior, and that would become like the new government, and we would all be like children to this entity, and it would run things better than any human could, which is fucking scary.
Yeah, you think?
So.
Without human needs. It's like I said, like once you start looking at humanity as a spreadsheet, and then you fire it off to Harvard University, they're like, well, I think the best decision is we just killed this many people because that's the fewest amount of people we could kill, and then everything should be good, right? But still, if you're in that fucking group, we got a problem, don't we? We got a serious problem. Efficiency,
right? The efficiency,
exactly. Yeah,
the evil of efficiency. I don't know if that's like a term or something. I know I didn't think of that first. It's
there's got to be.
I'm gonna.
Yeah, let's find out. We got a call coming in. We'll take that in a sec. I want to read this comment. Robert, sorry, not Robert. You have an R in your name. Robert from Facebook says, you can take down any robot with a bucket of water. And I love that sentiment. I love you, man. Great stuff. Until they're waterproof. Then we're fucked. And then we're fucked. Great comment. Good stuff. I like the way you think. Okay, here we go. We're going to go to this phone call, and we'll keep talking robotics. You're on Trouble Minds with Mike and Ash. This is Joe from Florida. Thanks for sending your buddy, man. That was a fantastic call to start this off. How you doing tonight?
Yeah, just hanging out. Just hanging out back. Had a fire going. Let's turn that off. Going to try to get to bed at a decent time. But, artificial intelligence, and we can't even protect Pentagon computers from hacking. So, before we start building these things, I think we need to have a totally secure network, before we really start to let those things out, large scale, because that's coming. I don't know if anybody out there saw the movie Chappie. Did you guys see the movie Chappie?
I have not.
I love that group. I love that group, by the way.
Did you see Chappie?
Yeah, with the weirdo musicians from South Africa. Those the guy and the girl. And the Chappie.
Yeah, Nuani.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Nuani. That's it. Yeah.
So that movie comes to mind because the robot is like a baby, but initially those robots are backing up the police force in South Africa. And Neil Blomkamp has done other movies. District 9, he always uses South Africa, it seems like, for for a movie. But those robots are backing up the police force. These gangsters capture the robot, they reprogram it, and they teach the robot basically to act like a criminal. And there's, I guess there's a key to reprogram the robot, but the robot has consciousness, or you think it does. I guess you never really know, except that the creator or the programmer of the robot, at the end, he's going to get killed, and they upload his consciousness into another robot. But it just makes you wonder. And then we're never going to own those robots. They're always going to be for military use or private use or rich people. The only robot we're ever going to be able to afford to have is probably a Roomba to clean your house. That's probably it. I don't think it's going to be like Bicentennial Man, which was Robin Williams' way in the future. I don't ever think most of us are going to live in that society. I think it's going to be dystopian, as sad as that sounds. But it's a great subject. And I don't know what Boston Dynamics, I guess the implications of what that robot could do, or what those robots could do, probably are endless in machinery. But Ash, you said it, efficiency, that's what we're striving for. There's some human bookkeeper that just wants to be efficient, and eventually he'll lose his job to a robot that'll be even more efficient than him. So,
without human interests, without freedom in mind, without autonomy, right? Because it's like the cold vapor of AI. It's like they just don't they program it to eschew humanity. Basically, it's
Yeah. The band is D. Antwoord, by the way. The band Yolani B. and I forget who else, but D. Antwoord, as Ash was wondering. But yeah, then you look at other. You look at it like I watched The Expanse, and in The Expanse, they don't really have robots at all. They have drones that fly around and check on things, but there is a lot of automation. And when they're doing combat, they already know the calculations of what missile is going to hit what based on range. So, like, the outcome of any battle is already pre-calculated, or there's a percentage. But there's a couple of episodes in The Expanse, which is a very excellent show if you want to see some good sci-fi. But the human element, which is always the rogue element. Whenever you see a movie, the human element's the rogue element. But you have to think to yourself that the algorithm would be that good that it would compensate for any rogue element, like throwing water on a robot. Just kind of makes you wonder.
Yeah, that would be kind of like the three laws of Asimov, right? Something similar where there's some sort of fail safe, there's some sort of kill switch, like if one starts freaking out and just starts murdering people accidentally again, right? So if it just runs in a straight line, like this is what Elon Musk was saying, the strawberry fields forever, right? So like if you program like a self-learning AI to be its only thing it knows is to create more strawberry fields, it will start destroying other things to create strawberry fields because it doesn't know destroying those other things are bad, right? And so as a result of this, you get a I don't know, like a bad AI, or you get let's say a hacked AI, and the thing just for whatever reason starts to run like Forrest Gump in a straight line. But the thing's 1,000 pounds. You start running people over. You start destroying cars. You start wrecking buildings. You become a wrecking ball. And this is very real, a very real possibility. Now this is the scary part. Now think of this, Joe. We saw those robots dance, right? And on the screen here, I have this little graphic of like the robots, and they're just cranking out, little clones of robots. Think of it. They have two, and a little dog one and another one, right? Imagine if there's 10,000 of these things. Like we're talking about the Clone Wars from Star Wars, right? I mean, this is unbelievable here.
The biggest thing would be protecting them from being hacked. I mean, are they going to be in small groups in different signals? If somebody hacks them, are they going to hack the whole system? how are they going to be, I guess the word would be compartmentalized, where hacking is going to be inevitable. Those things will be hacked inevitably. The robots being built is inevitable. And in fact, if you haven't, like you said, you haven't seen the movie Chappie, it kind of already strikes me how close that bipedal, humanoid looking robot looks as close to the movie Chappie. And the robot in the movie Chappie is a little more streamlined. And it's a police force. But those things are coming, and if they do get hacked, you know, is there an IP address? How are they going to be entered? How are they going to be programmed? Or are they going to be pre-programmed and unhackable, where it's just firmware, I guess, and they have to be physically plugged in or physically keyed to reprogram in the field? So are they going to be given wireless commands because that opens them up to being hacked? Or are they going to have to be physically grabbed, you know, and brought home at night, like the board in a station cube? You know, what do we do when those robots go rogue? Whether they go rogue on their own or they go rogue from a foreign actor, how do you take one down?
Well, you said it best. It's
you
like,
know, and then
you know,
and then all the laws have to be written around that. Like you said, there's 3 laws of those things, but those 3 laws assume that we are always viewed as the people that created them. At some point in time during the singularity, and there's people in the chat right now, Anubis, Abaddon's gate, or Anubis's gate, or whatever I was reading earlier, but if those things become self-aware, or believe they're self-aware, like in every Skynet dystopian robot movie you'll see, then we're no longer, those 3 laws no longer apply, because we're no longer the masters.
Exactly. So that the 3 laws change, don't they? Ash, you were about to say something. What were you going to say?
Oh, I was just saying, like, with the more and more powerful they get, you mentioned this, it's just, what if they just choose the most efficient route, and it's just, you know, to just eliminate this sect of people, or to, you know, to remove this building and they just collapse it onto an orphanage, or, you know, we have to be really careful. Like, I'll be.
Oh my.
I've actually used an AI before, so I was like selling things online, and this service came out, and I knew this trend was coming. I knew it, and it was like, hook this AI to your shit, and you'll sell more stuff. I'm like, all right, let's do it. And how it worked is it would fluctuate your prices up and down, but it would do it every 15 minutes. And then it would throw that data into a big data set, and the AI would interpret it, and it would find connections that you wouldn't like. So in the afternoon, it would raise prices. And this is my theory. It would raise prices because people were out of work and they were willing to spend money. But during the day, it would lower prices. You know what I mean? It was just guessing. It was just stupidly guessing. Well, the damn thing went crazy. And so eventually, at one point, our sales doubled. And I was like, holy shit, this is the future. This is awesome. And I just was like, all right, robot, like, go. And this is the mistake. This is exactly, I was like, just take over. And I like went to sleep and I didn't check it for a day. Well, immediately after that, it bottomed out my price. It was like, well, if I want to sell the most of this product, I'm going to sell them for the least amount that was set. And so we lost like $1,000 or something like that, because the thing just set everything to like 0, like the minimum amount. It just started freaking trying to pump them off the shelves. So what happens when the selling more product is, you know, its byproduct is like killing people? And like, how do we stop it with other robots that can also make the mistake? You know what I mean?
Well, the dangerous part is that's exactly right, though. I mean, how do we stop that? You know, in the most logical, it's an illogical thing, but what happens if you end up having an EM, you know, an electromagnetic pulse, or, you know, somebody comes out and takes apart their microwave and figures out a way to short circuit these things, you know, but how much of that can you do? But getting back to what you said, Ash, you just reminded me of a book. I got to get this book. It's called Surveillance Capitalism. I was listening to the author, and she was talking about how the algorithm for sales, like if there's a kid, how it targets the kids, and this kid's looking at a jacket, and he wants that jacket. and the algorithm knows that it's Friday night, and this kid's got a date because it can see the fucking text messages on your phone and bullshit. And then it starts marketing that jacket at a lower price to the kid. And it just all goes into an algorithm. And how do you fight that? How do any of us fight that? I mean, that's into that documentary on Netflix, but they're going to use all of that, and they're going to put that into something that walks. You know, you might see it at a security terminal when you get in at the airport, this menacing machine that might scan temperatures, you know, or it might sniff for bomb-making material. Who knows? I mean, the possibilities for good are definitely out there. But even if it's doing good, I still think it's going to eliminate jobs. It's going to eliminate things. And then what's going to happen to us?
I think that's the question. That's again.
I couldn't see a robot. I can't see a robot. Here's the thing. I can't see a robot being a funeral director. But I can tell you this. I could see a robot doing cremations. I mean, you could pretty much have a crematory machine. You can literally have the oven run automatically now. The only thing you need to do is the human element. We identify the bodies before they go in an oven. But it could be as simple as we upload a picture. The bodies come down on a fucking automated belt. You know, a camera scans it, does photo recognition, which we already have that technology. And then it just loads the body in. And there's hardly any human interaction.
It taps into the Facebook facial recognition.
So is this person dead? Oh, okay. Then they must vote. Hey, joke. Come on,
just so people that don't know start freaking out or don't start freaking out. Joe actually works as a funeral director, so that's the cremation thing here. This has nothing to do with eugenics or anything like that. So just want to make clear. It seems out of left field if you're not familiar, but yeah, that's what Joe does for a living. So just
or
make sure.
Could be Soylent Green.
Yeah, right. Soylent Green is people. Soylent Green is people.
They don't pay me enough. I need a side gig, so I got a cannery set up for some Soylent Green.
All right, let me know if you need my help, man. We got some. I appreciate it, Joe. I appreciate the call. You're amazing, Joe from Florida. His buddy Joe from Florida called in. These are a couple guys. Fantastic, Joe. Man, Joe, you're becoming our unofficial co-host. I appreciate it. Thank you so much.
No problem. I got to get a hold of that guy Joe because he does. He was on Stranger Things. I'll leave you with a quick funny story. That was odd. I watched the episode that he was killed in, and I'm literally watching it on my TV screen. I'm like, holy shit, he just got killed. And I'm thinking to myself, who runs to an elevator? And I text him, and I'm like, bro, dude, I just watched you. I was like, bro, I just watched you get killed on this episode. And he texts me back. He's like, who runs to an elevator? And then really, really quick, when he was mentioning that, I'm sorry, I was at work this week, and I'm like, hey, dude, I said, did you see any owls? Like, it was coming up. I was like, there's a couple of books on The Watchers. You should do a show on that, Mike McClellan, I think, or Mike Clellan. But I mentioned it to him off the cuff because I was investigating that Tuesday when I called you guys. And I tell him the next day, I go, did you see an owl or any owls? And he was like, holy shit, my hair just fucking stood up on end. You know, and, you know, I was at his house yesterday, and he's like, dude, he goes, I was talking to my wife about what you said. And we were looking that up. He says, and we saw, you know, those owls and everything. But he's a cool dude. I keep bugging him. I'm like, you got to do a TV show about the funeral home. You have to make an episode of my funeral home, and we can have a comedy show. But he's on IMDb. Look him up. He's a real cool dude. Does a lot of horror movies. And
is it okay to share his full name?
He needed a prep room. He needed a prep room one day, and I got him a prep room. So I hung out when he was like filming this TV show. It was pretty cool. But anyway, good night, guys. Happy New Year. I'll talk to you next week.
I appreciate it, my man. Joe from Florida, God bless. Stay safe. We'll talk to you soon, my man.
Have a good night, Joe. Always a pleasure, man. Thanks for calling in.
Good night, Ash.
There you go. There you go. You want to be part of the show? That's why we do it live, because we include look. When we started, it was Frank and I. Frank disappeared off the face of the earth, but we gained an Ash, we gained a Joe, and we gained it all of you. So I would, no offense, Frank, I would trade a Frank for all of you in a heartbeat every day, all day. So,
I miss Frank.
Yeah, Frank's a good dude.
He was delicious, but I really miss him. I kind of regret. I mean, he's fine. He's on vacation.
He's in a better place. He's in a better place. Meaning that he probably is not doing this show, so he's in a better place. 702-957-1037. You want to be on the show? Just call that number. We'll put you on the show. Join the Discord. Frank is fine. I'm just kidding. I've actually been in contact with Frank. He's fine. He's I don't know. He's been very sparse with his details, his personal details, as he's always been. So I can't really elaborate, but I do know he's okay. He's alive. I do know that much. So anyway,
he may come back. I come and go. It's just
who knows?
Our rock is you, Mike. You keep this shit going, bro.
Hey man,
we love you for it.
You just keep talking. That's the deal. You just keep talking. 702-957.
I don't know if you want to listen. I could do it. Go ahead. Yeah, sorry. Go ahead. Yeah,
Join the Discord, troubleminds.org. You want to be part of the show? You call. You're on the show. You talk to Mike and Ash, whoever might be listening. Okay. So let's continue. Let's continue talking about this AI. Let's see. What are we at time wise? Okay, so we got like an hour-ish left. Let's do a little bit more of this Skynet, and then we'll kind of round it out with some aliens. What do you say about that?
Yeah, I got some tinfoil here. I'm building the hat. I'll get ready. I need to finish some of the antennas on it, to pick up on the blue chicken energy. So yeah, that's about good timing. I'll be done by then. So
okay, perfect. Actually, let's derail for just a second. Do you hear about all the blue chicken drama going on with Corey Good and all that?
No, I love drama. I'm like my mother, she loves Spanish soap operas, and every once in a while I'll like catch myself sitting down. I'm like, oh my God, can you believe what Maria did? I love drama. I love it. I don't know why. It's just so interesting to me.
Okay.
And those guys are like saying some crazy ass stuff, and there's repercussions, and they're kind of like starting a little cult. And and I don't want to be completely gay. I do think that they bring things to light, and they do have, I think, some more than others. They are trying to put it together, right? They're trying to do that as a service, good marketing, all this kind of stuff, but at the same time, they're a bit irresponsible with the way they do things. So anyway, yeah, what's the new scandal these days? All right, so
just real quick, because we're not really into that like dirty drama business. Like, I just laugh at it when it's news, but it's news. So Corey Good is his lawyer turned on him. He's being sued by I don't even know like a huge number of people for what? So I guess he did like a pre-sale, like a particular comic book that he never delivered on. So he took a bunch of money and then said, we got this comic book coming, and then people just didn't get it like a year and a half later. But he took all the money, and then he had this lawyer sending people cease and desist letters. Anyway, like, again, drama's not our thing. Whatever. If you want to check out Stephen Cambian, Stina Bobina, Stina Maria on YouTube. They've covered it extremely well, so much so that I just don't think we have to. But it is fascinating to me that you have these UFO, let's say cults. Let's just call them cults, right? Where they try and they have the answers. Like I say, I've always said, be very skeptical of anybody that has all the answers. All right, and so these types, the Corey Goods, and I'm going to just loop David Wilcock in there as an example. Because these guys have the insider sources, they say, right? They do classified briefings, and they have all the answers, right? And so eventually what happens is when you take all the money, when you profess all the answers, but then you don't deliver your products, well, people start suing you. So who knew? I guess who knew? Who knew? But that's the deets. We got a phone.
Children, repent. Yeah. I shall get you into the kingdom of heaven with the blue chickens and the avians. Please, just $9.95 a month, and I shall save your soul.
Save your soul
from the reptilians.
Yeah. So there are. Yeah. I'll link it to this to the show notes here to the two folks I talked about. I'm not interested in that because they're like litigious folks, the blue chicken cult, and they sue people. So I'm not trying to get sued just frivolously talking about dumb shit. So go check out the people that like to get sued, and I'll link them, and you can check it out there. We've got a phone call coming in. Any final thoughts on the blue chicken cult there, Ash, before we take the phone call?
Someone mentioned Halo in the chat, and now all I can hear is the dun 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 dun.
Oh shit!
Dun, 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 dun.
That's what they were
Do you know
talking
what I'm
about.
Dun, dun,
Yeah.
Dun, 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 dun. Wait, what they said that Alan says, is that the battle rifle from Halo? What was he? Oh yeah.
Is that it?
Oh, it is.
Is it? Yeah,
Oh yeah, that's totally it. Dun, 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 dun.
All right.
But blue chickens. I mean, dude, honestly, like they could be right, but the fact that they're like monetizing so hard, that's fucked up. So yeah, it's like, you know, if you wanted to quit your job and dedicate to Transformers, like let's say you're really into Transformers or something, and you want to like dedicate your life to it, you're taking your time and your energy away from that thing to do this hobby. So you have to monetize it at somehow. So otherwise, or you're just already rich, right? But like, you need money to keep going. So I get that, but I think they're making a shit ton of money. And that's kind of where we get into the gray area when they're just monetizing everything. And especially if they're not delivering. I mean, if you're going to create a cult, creating a cult, that's fine. But breaking promises, that's where I draw the line. Promise your cult a book, give him the goddamn book.
Give him the damn book. If you promise him the kingdom of heaven, for fuck's sakes, just deliver the kingdom of heaven, please. Okay.
At least a picture book of it. Jeez.
Exactly.
Come on, man.
Oh dear Lord. Oh dear Lord.
No,
Ash,
if I'm gonna give all my money
that's
to heaven.
That's going down on the
book.
Ash. That's going down the Ash archive for a bust of all time, right there. Very nice. Very nice. All right. Let's go.
Thank you. I'll be here. I'll be here Fridays.
I'll be here all night. All right, here we go. Let's go to this phone call. Jay from New York. You're on Trouble Minds with Mike and Ash. What's happening, my man? What's on your mind tonight?
Yeah, you guys should make sure you tell that to St. Peter when you get to the gate. For fuck's sake, they've been looking at the picture.
There you go. Hey, you guys did this wrong. The picture is not like this at all. I'd like to talk to the manager.
No. Yes.
No refunds.
No, it's supposed to have gold over the top of the big shiny thing.
Exactly right. Exactly right. All right. So, what do you think about this AI
I missed
business
out
here?
on the whole conversation of blue chickens. When I was getting off your show on the Facebook on my telephone and trying to call you.
That's okay.
What was that blue chicken?
Honestly, you didn't miss much. It's Corey Good, and he's got like what's called known facetiously as a blue chicken cult. Don't worry about it. It's literally just gossip and hearsay, and it's not worth your time. I promise. but
thanks.
What do you
I appreciate that.
It's totally true.
I really do.
It's totally true. So what do you think about this AI business and the robots and stuff, the dancing robots?
That's a dark road, man. You know, I mean, they've been putting that stuff out in movies since Rod Serling was right in the Twilight Zone, right across the street at the high school from my house. You know, we've been warned about this stuff forever and ever. You know, and we just keep doing it more and more. Ash there with, what if those little green tomato flickers were guns? You know, that's. You see all the welders on YouTube strapping an AR-15 to the bottom of their drone. I mean, imagine if you did that on a grand scale. That could get out of hand real quick.
You put it on a cylinder, right, with all guns, all facing in other directions, and it just spins. And it just moves into a room.
Shit, man.
And it's just, you know what I'm saying? It's crazy. No based on what we just saw, it's probably already made. It's probably already done. It's probably even worse than what we're even thinking.
Oh, absolutely. I made a comment early when I first joined in with you guys that stuff is probably 40-year-old technology. You know, the stuff that we peons are allowed to know about. Oh, by the way, we have dancing robots. Well, no, actually, we have robots in Thailand that look like whatever you want them to for $1,000. You know, I mean, it's really, we're probably so far more advanced than what we're allowed to know. You know, has anybody seen the Greenland movie yet? The one that's been all over the Facebook about the asteroid strikes coming in and everybody hiding in Greenland.
I have not.
No. It came out right before at the beginning of the year, and it was a pretty good movie. You know, typical, you know, doomsday scenario: save the wife and kids, get to Greenland. But the thing is, though, I have a feeling like the conversation that was going on with the movies and the AI and everything else like that. I think Ash was right there when he was saying that we're trying to condition us to believing that, well, this might actually be okay. You know, we got riots going on. We don't want our police officers and our firefighters going down there and stuff like that and actually being able to hurt people, but we can go down there and diffuse the situation and put out the fires and help the needy and all that with robots. The drones in war. Why send a guy in a fire plane when you can send some kid that's really good at video games in Texas sitting in a computer terminal?
Which is what's happening. That's how they're killing
the guy driving in the Jeep.
Yeah, that's how they're killing people in the Middle East right now. Go ahead.
I know a guy who does that. No, I know a guy who does that. He's like, clearly has ADD, and he sounds like he's probably really good at his job, but he just literally flies drones and kills people. And he said in so many words, he's killed more people than any regular soldier would ever, because he's flying robots, and it's just like a video game. And it's insane.
Back in
it's
the
like
old
when
days, you sent over a sniper. Here, buddy, you're jumping on the back of this plane and 50,000 feet. Here's a picture of the dude we want you to snipe. Supposedly he's going to be over there on the porch tomorrow morning. It's just a different way. We eliminated the human element and added a robot.
Much more efficient, isn't it?
To do jobs like that.
Much more
absolutely,
efficient,
and you don't have to waste the human.
Yeah, so efficient. Yeah, that's the scary part of it. When you make when you basically devalue human life in favor of efficiency, it can get pretty scary, pretty quick, pretty nuts. That Greenland movie, I was watching the trailer. I actually had a recent episode on my channel. It's about the false flags. And the next one on the list, according to the list, is we're supposed to be scared of asteroids. And then the next thing after that is the alien invasion. So I'm going to plug my channel real quick. Check out my channel, Ash the Reptilian from Mars. Thank you, Bunny, for posting it in the link. And check out that video and tell me what you think. If call back and see if I was spot on or not.
And link to
Definitely.
Facebook.
I'll check it out. I can't do it while I'm on the phone.
Hey. We'll wait. You go watch the video. We'll wait. No, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding.
Yeah.
I mean, we're talking on the phone. That's rude. I can't do it. I mean, I'm talking to you. I listen to you on a telephone in my garage because I'm just a carpenter, and that's all.
Like I said before, Jesus was a carpenter, man. There's absolutely no reason to be ashamed of that. You're good. You're totally good.
I'm not. I love my job. I really do. I don't even charge people really money. Like, as long as I got gas money to go there and back and forth and food on the table and stuff like that, it's like there's no reason why you need to pay a lot of money for this.
Yeah, for sure.
Nobody's got a lot of money right now.
Yeah, right. It's
something that I need. I'm giving you something you need. I don't need to be paying you, $3,000, $4,000, $5,000.
Totally.
Pulling in a little bit enough to get by. That's all that's important right now.
Exactly.
They're going to give us our $2,000, right? Really?
No. 600. 600, bro.
Mine and you're going to get it. Don't worry. But we'll just do the universal basic income from everybody. Everybody's got it.
We ain't even close to that. It's not even, dude. They can't even get from 600 to 2,000 one time. It's like you're rolling dice at Vegas. Come on, baby, one time. Mama needs a new pair of shoes. It's not even. They can't do it.
No kidding, man.
Yeah, no, they can't.
Be happier with a kick in the balls.
Exactly right. All right. So given all of this AI stuff, and you saw the dancing robots, if you had to pick a side,
the dancing robots, that's nuts, man.
If you had to pick a side, though, let's say 50-50 one side or the other, are you more impressed and hopeful for the future, or does it terrify the shit out of you? If you got to be binary about this, looking at those dancing robots.
I would have to say that I need to be cautiously concerned.
Okay, there you go. I like how you walk that line.
They just, wow. I mean, I worked on farms that were organic farms and stuff like that, and you were using a rototiller to plow 5 acres, man, because you didn't want to soil compacting and all that crap, which Ash was kind of headed down a road there. That's really important that people, you should at least know it, not necessarily do it. You should study that because that might be important for you someday. But everything was done by hand there. And now we're flicking tomatoes with some machine that, how the hell does it pick the green ones from the red ones?
That's what I wanted to know too. It's unbelievably fast. Yeah. Yeah.
The yellow ones always got by. Did you notice that?
I didn't see any yellow ones.
When that little flicker was going on, they're the ones that aren't quite red yet, but they're definitely not green.
Okay. Well,
when you're picking them by hand, you don't pick those.
Right. But I figure
you only pick the ripe ones when you're picking them by hand.
But it's acceptable because you figure you put them in a truck, you take them to the store, it's going to be 2-3 days type of thing, so they'll be red by the time they get there, right? It's all good.
Well, we drove them right when you were done. The last thing you did when you were done with the day, I lived in town and was a bartender at night. I didn't have to be there till 10 o'clock in the morning, and usually my job was running the rototiller or the composting thing where you were shredding up all the stalks of corn or whatever and putting it in the compost bin. That was my job. And then at the end of the day, all of the groceries would go into the back of my truck, and then I would drive them into town and drop them off at the grocery store. It was an organic grocery store. That was, and then go home, take a shower, eat, have dinner with the wife and the kid, and then go to work at the bar. But no, really, the thing that Ash was talking about there, grow something, houseplant.
Grow something. Get some chickens.
Whatever.
Get some chickens. Eat your own fresh laid eggs. Yeah.
We're allowed to have 6 here in the city that I live in, and I could have the shed built in probably about a half a day. Agway's got them running around all the time. I think about it all the time when I'm there. But yeah, self-sufficient.
There you go.
Might be more important than we're giving credit to.
I think that's what it's all about.
More important than ever, with these days, with all these dystopian futures, and just kind of like the way things are going. It's the more of us that are like that.
Dystopian futures. When this all started, I went to our Wegmans and there was no food there. My kids eat pasta, peanut butter, and strawberries. And when I went to the grocery store, there was no pasta, there was no peanut butter, and there was no strawberries.
And your ass was grass.
And no toilet
that
paper.
Happened.
And no toilet paper.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, I've been stocking up on rice.
We got our tax return right. We got really lucky. I mean, thank God we really did. We got really lucky. We got our big tax return back, and when we get our tax return back every year, we go and we buy a shitload of toilet paper and shampoo and toothpaste and extra toothbrushes, load up the canned goods and everything else like that before we go buy a new TV or put tires on the car or whatever. We always stock up all the food when we get our tax return back. So we got it back right before it happened. So we were stocked.
Hey, can you hook me up with your accountant? If you get money back, I want to talk to your accountant because
we don't make any money.
Okay, that's how you do it. That's how you do it.
It's a secret.
Was a clerk at the gas station, and I'm a carpenter that goes around and does work for little old ladies, and I'm like, thanks for the tea or the coffee and the bagel or whatever.
You know what? You know what's going on here?
Good enough.
You're basically tax evading because you're not putting that coffee and tea on your damn tax return. So I'm reporting you, bro.
Ronnie, man.
That's all right. I've been audited 3 times. I've been audited 3 times, and the last time I got audited, I got a $6,000 check from the IRS. I had to go through like 2 weeks of absolute hell and bullshit to prove my point with all my receipts and bank account numbers and everything else like that. And the guy goes, well, you're eligible for $638 and change or
that's
whatever.
Hilarious.
And I looked at him and I was like, what? You came after me and I owed you money. Made my life hell.
Yeah, yeah. All the stress, all the everything. And they're like, oh, by the way, here's your check.
Oh, cool. No
Not
problem.
cool. Yeah.
I'll see you next year.
Exactly. Yeah, I see you next year. Jay, final
I told
thought,
him I
man.
didn't want to talk to him anymore.
Yeah, agreed.
Yeah,
final
it was a pleasure.
We got to move on, bro. Final thought, and then we're going to keep on trucking here.
Just, I don't know, self-sufficiency. I think with the AI and the robots, and I know we're headed towards the aliens because Ash has been putting that ball down the fairway forever now.
we're about to get there.
But
we're definitely about to get there.
It's coming.
Definitely.
I'm waiting.
Okay.
But I don't know. I'll talk to you guys later on.
I appreciate the call. Jay from New York, you were the best, man. You're the best. Thank you for the call. Have a great night. Happy New Year, and good luck on your tax return this year.
Indeed. Happy New Year to everybody.
Thanks a lot, man. You too.
Do better.
Talk to you soon. There you go. Jay from New York. Simple as that, guys. Look, think about it, right? If you started a show on the internet, you couldn't ask for better folks to be calling in and being a part of this. A lot of good people, Ash included. Dude, oh, sorry, aliens included. Dude, I'm having a good time. How you feeling, Ash?
Feeling good, man. Feeling good. I like, I sit around and I have crazy thoughts, and it's cool. It's like, people call in and they're like, I was thinking about what the Ash said. So I really appreciate that, guys, calling in and making me feel a little less crazy. But, it's, you consume enough pop culture and you just read enough blog articles and watch enough videos, you can kind of get a beat on what's going on a little bit, and I respect, people. I think people of the earth, like, he mentions the carpenter and he kind of writes it off, but that stuff's super important. Like, yeah, okay, like someone's good at a computer. It's like, okay, until shit hits the fan and we don't need that anymore. The carpentry, that kind of stuff is super important. We all need that. And I think it's really responsible to be self-efficient. It's, the more you believe that the system's going to be okay, the more you are putting yourself, but not just yourself, all of us, into a precarious situation. When shit hits the fan, if I've been saving up all my food and getting ready and you haven't, help you, but if there's 100 of you, I can't, right? So I think that's important. I think we should all be doing that. Sometimes I'll go on my crazy food runs. And I remember last time I was at the grocery store, I had like a fucking pile of rice and some canned beans and stuff. And this lady's like having a good time. She's shopping and she looks over at me and then she looks down at my cart. And I just saw this look on her face as she kind of realized what I was doing. I don't know if she was like looking at me like I was a weirdo, or maybe she was thinking, is there something I don't know? I don't know, but I could tell her face transitioned to some thought. And I just thought that was interesting. And it's like, there's nothing wrong with being prepared. And you remember, Mike, not too long ago when the coronavirus was in China, no one else was talking about it. We were talking about it. And we were telling everyone to get prepared. And I'm kind of doing it again. And I don't know what's going to happen. A coronavirus is a little bit more obvious, more cut and dry. But I think that's a good instinct to be prepared. And so I love that. I love that his last comment was that. So great.
Be prepared. Get the chickens, guys. Get the chickens. You got a chicken, you got eggs every day, whether you want them or not. There you go. Free protein. You just bird seed. Good to go.
That's right.
Good to go. All right, let's go to PCMag.com. 5 real computer systems that could become Skynet. Just going to blow through these real fast, and then because we got to get to the aliens. We got to get to the aliens tonight. So, and again, one more time, if you want to be part of the show, all the great calls we've had tonight, all the fantastic interaction, 702-957-1037. Click the Discord link, troubledminds.org's official website. You can find all the information there, including the new podcast, by the way, which I never really mentioned. But I do news, conspiracy news, 5 days a week on Twitch. It's now on troubledminds.org. You can find it there. Here we go. Let's go to Skynet. PCMag.com. 5 real computer systems that could become Skynet. The world-dominating computer from the Terminator movies is supposed to be activated today. Is it already here? Now look at the date on this article. April 19th, 2011. Over 9 years ago. All right. Let's just blow through these. IBM Watson. In case you haven't checked the internet in months, again, this is 2011. Watson is a supercomputer who beat 2 veteran Jeopardy champions at their own game earlier this month. Engineered by IBM, Watson is capable of processing 500 gigabytes per second, comprises 90 servers, and takes up a massive room at IBM's headquarters in upstate New York. Most important, Watson is excellent at analyzing human language and interpreting what it means. It was designed to learn from its successes and failures, refining its choices the more it made from them. Self-learning, 2011, IBM Watson. Next one, DARPA's GILA system, G-I-L-A. In 2008, the Defense Advanced Research Projects Agency, I guess, see what happens when I have 3 beers, Agency, DARPA moved toward automating military air traffic control with artificial intelligence. The Generalized Integrated Learning Architecture, the GILA system, was created under a $22 million contract to who else? Lockheed Martin, to deal with the increased air traffic partially due to the increasing use of automated drones. GILA isn't just a program that says go this way or go that way depending if the craft is an F-22 or a Predator. DARPA created the system to be a learning computer, taking information from multiple sources, manuals, flight controllers, situational examples, and generating its own knowledge through reasoning. Yeah, all right. 2011, guys. This article is from 2011, part 3. Google. Oh, by the way, Google is certainly one of the biggest aggregators of data on the planet. Beyond sheer size, Google is ubiquitous. I love that word. It would be difficult to find someone who hasn't at least heard of the search engine, and most people have even used it, even if they didn't know it. Every search, every click, every time you use spoken commands on an Android phone, Google records the data somewhere. It adds in parentheses, because of course you don't want to be taken off the internet, though most of it is done anonymously. Sorry about that. The super villain cackle. It goes without saying it takes massive computing power to analyze such mountains of data. Its algorithms for speech commands in particular are designed to learn automatically, building more sophisticated models wherever there's new data to analyze. Google offers many enterprise-level services, and some are even certified for use in government. Oh, you don't say. You don't say. 2011, this article, guys. 2011. Think about how much has changed in 9 years. Holy shit. Number 4, the Blue Brain Project. In 2005, a Swiss scientist set out to reverse engineer the human brain and recreate it artificially. With plans to have a thinking, feeling artificial brain by 2018, Henry Markham is said to have attracted millions of dollars in funding already. He's already mapped key parts of a rat's brain, and the project has made progress toward simulating a human neocortex. The project is different from other research into thinking machines in that it's focused on making a copy of a human brain. Not so much the computational power, though that's inevitably part of it. Markham is studying the brain molecule by molecule, aiming to record and recreate the patterns he finds. 2011, guys. Number 5, Echelon. Not much is officially known about Echelon, the code name for the government system that monitors communications of all kinds, though it certainly exists. Echelon primarily looks for keywords or phrases that might betray terrorists or other evildoers, or people that just want to think for themselves, right? Ash. Most stories. Hit the button. Most stories about its operation focus on its surveillance methods and the kinds of messages intercepted. But whatever the system is using to analyze all that data could be a seed of something more sinister. And there you go. There's your cue. Hit the button. Hit the button.
I'm hitting it. I got it. Beep, beep, beep. You're going to have to... I'm like a kid, like your little brother, where you give him a fake controller that's not connected to anything. You got to give me the fake button, because I'll kill us all. Just be like,
just smash it. Yeah. Smash. All right, let's see. What do we got? Looking at some chat from Ash here. Oh, okay. All right. Anyway, so what do we do? We got approximately 30 minutes left. You want to get into aliens? What do you want to do? We're looking for calls from you guys. We do this live to include you. Ums and ahs included. Awkward pauses. Talking over each other. We know you forgive us because we want to talk to you. That's really the most important part of this. 702-957-1037. Click the Discord link. Troubleminds.org. Get your ass on this show. Get your ass on this show.
Get your ass over here on this show right now, Mister,
right now.
Mrs.
All of the
I
above.
can't wait to be a parent. You know, how dare you? Know?
How dare you?
It's damn it. I don't go to work all day. You know, I don't know. It's traditional stuff, but very interesting topic. You know, this is it's kind of hard because you can kind of go. You know, you can go really deep into the AI, you can go really deep into the robotics, right? And it's interesting that before the technology is starting to manifest. But Mike, you've linked a lot of things that are really interesting that are kind of like the moral ideas playing with these kind of topics before we kind of get there, right? And I think that was important for us, you know, 2001: A Space Odyssey, all these kind of things, these academic reports and stuff. And there was actually some things you mentioned. Actually, I wrote down here.
You're taking notes on me? You're taking notes on me.
Yeah, I'm taking notes. I'm
Damn
paying
it.
attention.
Damn it, Ash.
I'm taking notes. I'm like a good student, bro. I'm
All right.
you know, I'm going to bring an apple in for the teacher.
All
but you
right.
said that computer processes 500 gigs a second. That is fucking crazy. That's a lot of
That's crazy.
data.
That was in 2011.
Second?
2011, dude.
Yeah. So if we follow the whatever that law is, it doubles every year, right?
Moore's
so,
law. Moore's law.
Yeah. That's pretty insane. And you mentioned that the computer learns from its successes and failures. Well, it's already surpassed humans.
Yeah, for sure. I don't think there's any doubt.
People have a hard time. Dude, I don't know about you guys, but sometimes I have a hard time getting myself to do what I want to do. So I thought that was hilarious. It's like, oh, it learns from successes and failures. It's already transcended humanity in that way. So,
well, we have to live a lifetime. We have to live a lifetime to figure this shit out, right? Like we're trapped in this thing we call time, right? We only live for so long. You know, like every choice you make is I'm not saying it's life or death, but it does lead you down a particular life path. And so if you get, you know, let's say everybody got to 50 years old and you were like, hey, you want to start over and try again knowing what you know now? I'm pretty sure everybody would be like, fucking right. Like, I would have done this instead of that. You know what I mean? But the fucking robot, it's not limited by that. There's no, like, as long as the power is plugged in, this MFer can do its thing. And it could learn in real time, constantly, forever. And the computing power is only getting more and more. I mean, just think about the juxtaposition. We're just meat puppets. We're meat creatures that are ignorant, like poo-flinging monkeys, like Joe Rogan always says. It's true though. And then so once we get this cold AI, right, with its foot soldiers of these androids, I tell you what. Oh shit! Where does that lead us to the aliens, Ash? Let's go to the aliens, buddy.
So with that being said, I'm going to transition. I'm gonna go hard. I'm trying to find another word for something I don't want to say. I'm gonna go full nerd. Okay, I'm gonna try and go really like cerebral, I guess, and kind of break down evolution is an algorithm, right? So, like you were saying, we have to go through a lifetime to learn stuff. Well, in between lifetimes, through natural selection and genetic memory, each generation we change slightly as an adaptation to our environment. So that computer was processing 500 gigs a second. That computer can't do what humans do still. So you could argue that nature is still more successful than humans is as developing technology. So what I'm making is an argument for the biological, that if you took humans or DNA or whatever the hell you would consider biology, and you put it in the right situations, and then you basically sped up time, you could get a result that is basically as if the AI was doing this. The AI, what it does, a lot of these AIs is they'll just run through every possible scenarios until they kind of get the most optimal answer. Well, that's kind of what natural selection and all this bioevolution is. We are, if you think about it in that sense, we are robots, but we're the ultimate robot. Like a robot has a creator, right? And this is where the God argument comes in. I know I'm going way cerebral all in this stuff, and just bear with me for a moment.
Wait. I have to stop you. No, you're a knucklehead just like me. Because did you listen to that last episode with that actual academic? I felt like a fish out of water that entire conversation. So no cerebral here until you could do that. When you could do that, Ash, I'll say you're a smart guy, a smart alien. Until then, you're in my boat. We're just knuckleheads, bro. Just FYI.
No, absolutely. And sorry, I don't want to sound pretentious. I'm not like I'm an intellectual. Let's go. No, I'm just saying like let's think about like normal shit as like in a nerdy way, right? Like in a cerebral, nerdy. Like let's get into a conversation that we don't need to, but if genetics were the robot, and you think about genetics as a robot, where like if you come over to a planet and you take a dump on that planet and then you come back like millions of years, there could be like lizards crawling around. That's a pretty fucking impressive robot. Like if you compare, like, can you build a robot like that does that? No. So it's just what I'm saying is like biologically, we've already have really good algorithm. It's just not as fast as kind of like we would want to, I would say. So with that string of like thought, who's to say that the aliens haven't already thought about this? And I didn't get this idea. I didn't come up with this idea on my own. I literally came up with this idea by studying aliens and looking at, I'm like, okay, aliens are supposed to be further ahead than us or whatever. And if these abductions and all this stuff is true, this is kind of like what's going on. And this is what they are. It's like a caveman interacting with us and they see like an iPhone. And so the caveman has to sit around and be like, what was that thing? What was the iPhone? Like, is that an inevitability? Is that something that me as a caveman that I'll have or not have, right, in the future? So yeah. Anyway, what I'm saying is, are robots like people think that the next industrial revolution is robots? Well, is it robots? Maybe we're gonna skip that. Maybe this robot thing's short-sighted, and we just make biological robots. Maybe like we're going to have a biological revolution, right? Maybe biology is more efficient than the robotic portion. And so if you apply that and you look at these abductions, look at these gray aliens, right? So, okay, well, before we get into the alien stuff, let me share this link real quick. Living robots, right? So let's get into the biological nerdiness. Mars sucks, man. Derek asked, how does Mars look? It looks really crappy. I don't know why you guys are trying to come here, steal my property, get off my lawn, my lizard lawn. But yeah, so look at Meat Puppets. I'm looking at some of the comments. Good comments. It's very funny. How dare you?
Your article's up. Wait, hold on. Wait. Williams. We gotta how dare you. We gotta do it.
How dare you?
There you go. Let's say it properly. All right, there. Go ahead. Carry on, sir.
So, going along with a nerdy narrative, scientists combine AI with biology to create xenobots, the world's first living robots. So, where's the border between robots and alive, I guess, right? And so, maybe the answer is a marriage of the two. And this is maybe, the elite in San Francisco, this Silicon Valley think we're going to merge with machines. So look at this. A remarkable combination of artificial intelligence, AI, and biology has produced the world's first living robots. Let's see here. One of the researchers described the creation as neither a traditional robot nor a known species of animal, but a new class of artifact. Oh, what the hell? That's what they call them?
That's
a living programmable organism. What the fuck? Like, call it a golem, or something like
a homunculus.
Like, yeah, exactly. Let's keep the medieval magic stuff. I mean, that's kind of like what they're saying. Oh, artifact. Ugh, it's gross. Well, xenobots are less than 1 millimeter long and made of 500 to 1,000 living cells. They have various simple shapes, including some with squat legs that can propel themselves in linear or circular directions. Joined together to act collectively and move small objects. This is insane. Strange new creature. Wow. So it's linked in there. Take a look. What do you guys think? It's pretty nutso stuff. What do you think about this, Mike?
This is 2020.
What do you think of
year.
these artifacts?
This is crazy. This is crazy. This is back to Alex Jones and the human pig chimeras and the water's making the frogs gay. I mean, this is literally like, if you talk about this type of stuff, you may as well be the blue chicken cult, right? I mean, it gets lumped all together. It literally gets lumped all together. You can't think for yourself and really go outside the mainstream. And again, it's the entire reason why we do this show. Because there's a whole other conversation outside of it. All the garbage they're throwing at you. The lefty-righty shit, right? The brainwash constantly. Think about it. Like, we may not be the smartest dudes in the drawer, but it doesn't really matter, does it? Because we're trying to have these conversations that get ignored. We're trying to have conversations that are intentionally swept under the rug, right? Like, none of that other stuff matters. This is not like an ego contest. This is not like any of that stuff. This is not that. This is like, holy shit, people, look what's happening out here. And the world is ignoring it like it's some sort of, I don't know, like, I don't know. It disgusts me a lot. If you follow this, you know why we do this. Because there's so much more that needs to be talked about in this world. And that's why we do this. Long-winded, ums and ahs, etc., so on. That's my cue to put the phone number up, and we do it live to include you. 702-957-1037. Click the Discord link. See what I mean, right? There's always a segue when you talk yourself into a circle. You just read the phone number.
That's good. I like
you like
it.
that?
It's very
all right.
professional.
All right, yeah. I got you. Here's your link. Go ahead and start. Bring us to the aliens, brother.
Well, that was a good point you made. Is like, these things are happening, but every freaking thing Trump's doing, whether you hate him or like, you don't have to report on every goddamn thing he does. And it's like, meanwhile, we're making robots that collectively do things together. I didn't even know that part. I thought they were just like, they made a thing and it was alive. That was it. But apparently they're programming them. That sounds like some shit they've been doing for a while, and they just quickly telling us. And this is kind of like, something that keeps me up at night a little bit, is that the elite think we're all stupid and they're just doing whatever they want. And so you read these kind of articles and you're like, excuse me, what are you doing? And it's, we're not having these conversations. And so, it's fun to left, right, and go at each other, whatever. But we kind of have to this is important. You're right, Mike. We have to kind of have these conversations. We got to talk about these things. No one else is freaking talking about these things. This is crazy. And, like our movies and stuff, they play with these moralities, these thoughts, these ideas. And I suspect, bringing this to aliens, that a lot of alien civilizations are not as moral as we are. I really believe this. And so, if you take this and you extrapolate this out, they're making biorobots and just keep going. Eventually, you have like biorobots. Like, what's more efficient to build a factory and build a thing, or is it more efficient to just grow another crop? And so I've looked into a lot of this stuff, and I don't know if it's true or not, guys, but there's some crazy ideas in some of these things. If you look into them, that the aliens have found it more efficient, and there's that word again, to just grow their workforce, and that maybe this workforce is made from us, like DNA of a variety of organisms. Like, what does it matter where it comes from, right? So yeah, let's look. A retired U.S. Army officer claimed gray aliens are biorobots built to travel to other planets.
All right, we've got some belly aching in the chat. I gotta play this just real fast, and then you can continue.
Are you not entertained? Are you not entertained? Is this not why you are here?
There you go, buddy. That one's for you. You know who I'm talking to. All right. Sorry, go ahead, sir. Carry on.
Thanks. Thank you. Yeah. I hope you guys are entertained. This is entertaining stuff. We're talking about bio aliens that are gray robots. The repercussion. So this is a retired U.S. Army officer claimed gray aliens are bio robots built to travel to other planets. So in 1997, retired U.S. Army officer Philip J. Corso and writer William J. Burns published a book that revealed many secrets and mysteries that had taken place during the events of Roswell. So yeah, you can we link this, right? We link this. You can take a look at this and look into it more. There's some interesting photos of recovered bodies, but it also explains why they call them extraterrestrial biological entities. Not saying they're individuals. They're just whatever, like they're entities. So I mean, it makes a lot of sense. If you're going to go to space, like how much work would it take to like build something, and then you got to build crap in order to make sure the people survive from A to B? Well, why would you do that when you could just send these made beings? The beings don't even have to exist when you send. You could literally send the ship. It gets to the point of origin, then it starts the pop in the oven cooker, cooks the beings up. They exist to do a task. They do the task, then they're phased out, and then you bring you I don't know, you freaking leave it there. Like, who cares, right? So that's where I believe, based on like looking at this stuff, this seems to be the kind of the decision that the aliens have made. And so when you're interacting with grays, or grays are interacting with our planet, it could be anything on the other end. It could be like a squid monster. It could be reptilian. Like, you don't know. And who's to say that the universe is not like a government or a business, and they all use the same gray robots? So you could have 100 different civilizations interacting with Earth, and they're all using the same grays. So you would not know who's who. And I think that when technology hits a point, it challenges spirituality. And I think that we're kind of coming into this, and we kind of have to decide as a species, like, is this fucking cool? Like, are we cool with this? And, I think that countries like China are more willing to kind of skate that line, right, for efficiency.
Oh, you mean butcher their people? You can say it. Why don't we just cut to the chase? Butcher their people in the name of whatever the future brings for them, their ideological future, right? And again, right, a very huge theme of this show. What's more important to you guys? Your autonomy as an individual, or allowing the government to choose it for you? It literally is as fucking as simple as that. But like, it's unbelievable to me how so many people are like, yeah, well, let's just fucking go with the cold, hard spreadsheet. But what happens if you fall on the wrong side of the spreadsheet when they draw the line? Do you or do you not change your mind at that point? Guess what? It's too fucking late, because you rallied for it when you were on the right side of that line. Just FYI. Sorry, sir. Go ahead. There's my there's my rage. There's my rage. It's true. It's fucking true. And this is exactly the things we need to be talking about as people. Is the individual important, or is it not? All right. Sorry.
Do you value the experience or the result?
Yeah.
Right? Like, do you value having experiences, or do you value just getting the job done? And so this is a really interesting quote, of efficiency, right? Like, you just grow these beings and they just do a thing. According to this guy, gray aliens, also referred to as Zeta Reticulans, were not really aliens, but biomachines specifically created to work on other planets. Now think about that. You go to another planet. I mean, freaking, we used to go to another country and kill everyone off from like infectious viruses and diseases, right? When we came, when the white men came to like the Americas and interacted with the native population, they got sick, and it killed off like most of them. Like it was pretty devastating. So imagine, if you go to an alien planet, there's the War of the Worlds movie where the aliens are defeated not by humans, but by by basically the biology that we've earned. And look at this COVID virus. It's such an issue, and we have plagues. So an alien coming here, he's starting at zero. We have thousands, millions of years of like enduring this shit, and it still kills us, and it's still a problem. They're coming here with zero, right? So, they wouldn't freaking come here. It's not safe. So he wrote, this is the same guy, the Phillips guy. He wrote that as far as he knew, no one had encountered real aliens, and all eyewitnesses or abductees had seen only big-headed and black-eyed biomachines. Wow, imagine that. Imagine all these things coming to our planet and like maybe for thousands of years, but an alien has never actually come here, like a real alien. They're just on their home world like we are. And are we going to do the same thing? Are we going to create these bio robots and send them to another planet?
Hell
and we're
yeah.
going to be like,
hell yeah.
That's crazy.
Think about
Pretty
it.
insane.
Just think about it. Just our very next planet over, Venus, right? So Mars is another thing entirely. We think we can send people there. All right. Talk to Elon Musk. He'll make the case. If you go to Venus, it's like scorching hot, right? Like it's got poisonous gas, acid rain, all kinds of like inhospitable shit. All right. So clearly, if we're going to actually search the core of that planet, wherever the ground happens to be beneath those acid clouds, we're not going there. We're going to send our version of a gray alien to Venus, and that's one damn planet over. I don't think it's too much of a stretch to actually consider that as a possibility. And what we're seeing, these aliens, these beings, these whatever they are, I just don't think it's that much of a stretch. Why else would you be risking yourself when you could send actual androids, dancing robots, to bring it back to the beginning? Jeez, right?
Yeah, I wonder if they dance like really well, like right out of the womb.
Yeah.
Like you ever see a gazelle like grow out of the womb, or a baby chameleon? They're like immediately, or baby crocodile, they're ready to go as soon as they're born. It's pretty insane. So all you got to do is optimize that algorithm, tweak it, and then there you go. So let me ask you this. So is it a coincidence that the aliens that we all know and love in our culture look kind of like us?
No, I said that to the academic. I was like, dude, isn't it weird how all the aliens have 2 arms and 2 legs? That's bizarre as fuck, right? So maybe there's like a bizarre, gaseous, dark energy type alien that's creating these things that look like us so that we're more receptive of them to begin with. Right? How about that? How about something like that?
Yeah, or I think that with the hybridization program, I think that is definitely a part of it. That they're trying to like kind of breed us into a collective or whatever. That's like one of their ways of absorbing a civilization is kind of like genetically, right? It's like your family, What's interesting is what if no biological anything was sent to our planet? Maybe the robots were sent. They harvested the data of the local organisms and then created some sort of prototype gray and then iterates on itself. You know what I mean? It could be literally a rogue, like a dark energy you said. It could be that's basically the same thing as like an AI sentient being, and it just like manifests in reality by using the biology around it. So it could, you know what I mean? It could be just like a robot computer that came here, took some samples, cooks in the oven for a little bit, pops out a dude, and then that dude gets to work, and that's like a hive. And supposedly one of these factions is like a hive collective, and that's Alex Jones just mentioned this on the last thing he was on. He mentioned that the elites are trying to strive to become like a collective of different, a conglomerate of different like biologies and entities and all this kind of stuff. And I really suspect that the elites, I mean, this is some crazy shit, but like, think about it. If like an advanced species is interacting with our planet and they're like way ahead of us, or just maybe even not ahead, maybe like they're ahead in some ways but regressed in the other ways, our elites, if they catch wind of this, are going to like look at that and be like, that's what we should do, right? And so it would sound crazy to like someone who's not conditioned to this. It sounds crazy to me too, and yeah, anyway, so that's kind of like my ongoing theory. It changes, but like I think that's kind of like what's going on. There's sort of, whether it's being dictated from some extraterrestrial force or we're just interpreting our experience with them, but the elites, like the leaders of the world, are trying to force us to kind of like into that direction. And that's like the coronavirus, lockdowns, no gender, all this kind of like weird crap is a result of this like utopian future that they suspect. Man, I sound like Alex Jones more.
I was about to say, hold on. You got to give me a second. I got to be like, hold on, wait. Breakaway civilizations, they're turning the frogs gay. Human pig chimeras, the Chi-Coms in China. I tell you what. Listen to Trouble Minds Radio. This is not Alex Jones, but we're having a good time. We're laughing here. You never know what's really going on, and so that's why I think these conversations are much more in like the larger sphere of this is, we don't do the micro level, we don't do the macro level, we do like 5,000 feet. We're seeing what's going on here, and again, there's so much. There's literally so much to talk about. We're going to continue to do it. We're at the end here. Nice how we started with androids, dancing robots, and we ended up with aliens, right? What other show can you listen to that starts with dancing robots and ends with aliens? I don't know. I can't even begin to guess. And you know what? I don't care, because none of those ones are important. I think this one's important, and that's why we do it. Ash, let's finish this up, buddy. Final thoughts, my man.
Yeah, we're all gonna die. And,
no, don't do it. Wait, we got a call. No. We got a call coming
just
in.
Some of us.
So let's take this phone call. Then we'll finish it up, and then we're done. All right. Let's
for sure. Sounds good.
All right. Let's do it. See you guys there. Bailey says Ash just turned the frogs gay. There you go. You did it, Ash. You're solely responsible for this now. Let's see. Ma Deep says up there, I believe this nanotech is the new invisible Trojan horse. That's a great take. That's good stuff there. Let's see. Blah blah, so on and so forth. Thanks for hanging out, guys. We know it's a long show. The reason why it's a long show is because sometimes we're long-winded and like make long winding points. But basically, if we trimmed it down like an hour, and a couple people called, that would be it. You see what I'm saying? You guys know. I don't have to explain myself at this point. You guys already know what's up. So if we're long and meandering,
I don't even know my thought until we're like 2 hours in.
Yeah, no, exactly. It kind of it's weird though, right? So okay. So as we wait for this call to screen, now, isn't it amazing though to kind of start like a conversation with like just a loose outline, and then, right? Like your brain kind of clicks places you didn't expect as the conversation happens, right? I mean, isn't there something beautiful about that? That's why I love this. That's why I love doing it like this. Unscripted completely. Loose outline. Yeah. We didn't even touch 10 of the links we wanted to. It just kind of goes where it goes, and we talk about it. I think it's fantastic.
Yeah, me too, man. And it's like, honestly, like that thing I was trying to explain, the last thing I just said, connecting it to robots. It's not that it's like really complicated or super like smarty pants kind of thing. It's hard to explain. So, it takes a whole show to kind of like, like say all this stuff, and we're kind of building a narrative and be like, do you guys get what I'm saying? Like these freaking things might be robots, right? You can kind of see the pattern, right? Like, look what we're doing. Fast forward that like 10,000 years. What do you think we're going to be doing, right? If we're being little xenorobots. So I'm just saying, like, we can, with this kind of show, this kind of format, we can kind of get into it and talk about like more of the complicated kind of things. And like, God, the media won't even go like, 1 centimeter deep.
Yeah.
In anything, right?
Or left or right.
Surface layer.
Yeah, or left or right of what exactly has been scripted. Yeah, it's disgusting. Did you watch any of the New Year's stuff? Like I saw Don Lemon in his fucking silk pajamas with what's her name? She looked like a fucking Playboy model in her silk pajamas. The fucking chick from what's her name? She's another host on CNN. So they were like, in their silk pajamas, and Don Lemon's like bragging about his. He's like, oh, this silk is real, and this ring is. He was about to say this ring is real, right? Like he was about to say it, and then he like realized how insensitive and stupid it was at the time, and then he's like, actually, I'm not going to say it. Like, no, you already said it, bro. You already fucking said it. You may as well have just fucking said it. Tell us how much that fucking ring cost, Don Lemon, with your silk pajamas. It was disgusting. Like the whole thing was disgusting. They're like, oh, let's go all the things that you've baked this holiday season, right? And there's people in food lines, and they have cameras on like 44 desserts on this guy's fucking like gigantic, 10,000 square foot fucking like kitchen counter, in these like crystal fucking plates. I'm like, get the fuck out of here. Really? This is what we're doing right now.
We're just saying 10 years from now, in the background, there's gonna be a fucking robot doing work. Right? That's what I'm saying. Like in 10 years from now. 15 years from now, there'll be a robot doing the work, they'll be baking the cookies, and they won't even be doing anything.
And also, fuck you, Don Lemon of CNN. Also, fuck you, you fucking piece of shit. And God, I can't stand these propagandist assholes. Anyway, let's go. Final call.
I heard they get paid like $30K a night or something like that.
Yeah, it's like $10 million a year at least. Yeah.
So insane.
Jay from New York, you're on Troubled Minds. Let's finish this up, buddy. Couple minutes, go.
I'm listening. I'm just looking for a place to chime in here. You guys are like spot on. All these guys, De Blasio dancing with his girlfriend in the middle of Times Square when he told everybody to stay home.
Yep.
It's not safe.
Yep.
Uncle Andy flying all over promoting his book.
Yep. But it just. We got to think about the simple things, man. What's happy for you, Sat down with my wife and watched a movie, hung out with my kids, played with some Legos. Is that good enough? Is that what you want? This was really important. Is that what you're cultured to believe, that you need to think that that's the good stuff? Let all that other stuff fly right over your head. It doesn't matter. It's not going to affect us anyway. We got our $600. Go to Walmart, buy a new TV.
Hey man, you know what you could do with that $600? You're supposed to buy fucking guns. That's what you do. You buy as many guns as you can with that.
In all honesty, I don't need to worry about buying any guns. But,
okay, there you go.
Okay,
head of the game.
I got like 50 pounds of rice and probably 40 pounds of beans, so I'm good.
Nice. Nice.
And be prepared. Really.
Be prepared.
Some seeds, the things that are on clearance for 29 cents, man, throw a couple of them in the cart, Head of lettuce might get you a couple of things of broccoli, trading with the neighbor in the pot in the living room.
And hopefully your neighbor has chickens, so you got some rice and beans and some eggs, and you're good to go.
Well, yeah, if you got chickens, man, you might be able to trade meat for bullets.
Or eggs for bullets. There you go, right?
I don't know, man.
Back to the barter system.
I don't know. If you come to me with eggs,
no, bro.
Hey, I got some eggs.
Hold on.
Some bullets. I'm probably going to be like, no.
Hold on.
But you got a chicken?
Hold on, no. Wait. You can eat a chicken once. If you get a chicken, he can lay eggs. She can lay eggs every day for how many years they live. I don't even know. Like, come on now. You got to be efficient here.
Like 10, 15.
Yeah,
well, I'm talking about the 15-year-old chicken. Just throw my food.
Okay, fine. That's different.
He's done laying eggs.
It's different. We did. All right. It's very specific. Anyway, okay. Let's finish this up, man. Let's finish this up. All right. Quick comment from Bailey. This is hilarious. Bailey on YouTube says, if you Google Don Lemon, all you see is people talking about how they like his PJs.
It's like the Kardashians and all of that. Why look at the stuff that's really important when you can be like, oh my God, that guy's got on $1,000 set of silk pajamas? You know, I mean, I'm never gonna. Even if I had the kind of money to spend on that, I would never buy $1,000 pair of silk pajamas.
Same here, bro. Same here.
I mean,
same here. Yeah, it's just not. It's.
I mean, really.
Yeah. Same.
You know.
Agreed.
They call it clown world.
It's just
That's we live in the clown world.
That's a good point, clown world. All right, Jay from New York, finish this up. You got 30 seconds, and we're going to end this show. Go right ahead, sir.
I want everybody to have a great night and a happy New Year. Get your positive energy out there. Do something to help somebody that can't help you. Grow a plant. Just grow a plant because you might need it someday. And stay positive and be prepared.
Amen, brother.
It's just, I don't know.
Thank you.
What I got. You know?
Amen, brother. Perfect. That's a perfect ending to this. Thank you for the call. Thank you for the enthusiasm. Same to you. God bless. Be safe. We'll talk to you soon. We'll talk to you next broadcast. Jay from New York. Thanks for the call, my man. There you go. Easy as that. Easy as that. See? Look at all the great people we meet. Let's finish this up, Ash.
Let's finish it up, man. Let's do it.
You're up.
You know, he mentioned, can you grow a plant? Can it be a marijuana plant? You know, that helps people, right? I'm just saying, you know, if I had to pick a plant. Why are you so quiet when I say that?
Because I'm thinking about the chickens and the eggs. Oh, man, the eggs. The eggs are so good for breakfast. I have some eggs for breakfast on some English muffins. Oh, Jesus, so good.
Man, I love breakfast. Like a good ass omelet. Oh,
yeah, right. So if you had some chickens again, right? You know, it's a good thing. Like, I think I may just move to a place where I can get some chickens, and that's a hell of an idea. Oh, geez. Oh, geez. Okay.
I'll grow the plant. You can, you know, you can.
Oh, there we go,
plant.
dude. We'll trade
the chicken,
dude. We'll trade eggs for some hits, some rolling up the smokes.
Do it all at the same time, baby. There you go.
There you go. We'll be eating eggs.
Just wait for the robots to kick down the door with Tom Cruise.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You won't even know. Dude, they move so quickly, they'll kick down the door and kill you before you even knew what happened. So what's the difference? As long as you're eating eggs and smoking weed, it's all good, right? You may as well go out having a good time.
It's true. Yeah.
It's true.
At the end of the day, you know, we're just human. We don't know what the hell's going on, right? Like we don't even know what's going on in our galaxy, and there are trillions of galaxies. So we don't know shit. So, like, at the end of the day, it is important. The human experience, the experience that you're having, your soul. You know, I'm putting together a show, and I was surprised to find that I think the soul is real. I thought it was going to be some hubbub, but I think it is real for whatever reason. I don't get it, but I'm trying to figure that out for my episode. But it seems like the soul's real, and if there's a soul, then the point is to have experience, right? Like to live a life, and we're here to have a human life, and we're here to live it. And you know, like, yes, you could be efficient. You could put resource from bucket A into bucket B, or you can, you know, be really good. Like, you know, we have this in our culture. You can like be greedy with money and like be the most efficient and cheap. But like, you know, what makes you happy is like taking care of your family, your fellow man, and just like being a human, right? Like, you know, the guy mentioned he was a carpenter. Like, you're building shit with your hands. You build real things and you like give them to other people and you trade. You know, that's kind of like what makes you human. It makes you happy. So, you know, with the robots coming and all this, I think that there's a weakness in this like religion that these people have. And I think they wish they could fill that hole with this stuff, but it's not going to happen. And on the other end, you know, this shit is cool. And it like, you know, without technology, without science, you know, we get to like, you know, smoke that herb and eat the chicken and have an iPhone, you know, that's cool. So we just have to balance it. I think humans, I think we're going to be okay. You know, I think we're going to mess up, you know, but you know, I think that, just like that robot computer, we're going to learn from our mistakes.
Ancient astronaut theorists say yes.
There you go. You heard it from the source right there.
All right, we're done.
Let's wrap it up, Mike. Let's
done.
do it.
It's already done. We got music playing, brother. All right, we're talking about all the other things that none of the things are allowed to talk about. So that's what we do here. That's why we do it. We do it live to include you, etc., so on and so forth. You've heard it all before. If you're new here, welcome. If you're not, welcome. You see how that works? There's no division here. Like, it doesn't matter. Non-denominational. You come here, we talk about ideas. We don't try and shit on people for no apparent reason. When we talk about the news, we talk about it in a manner that's important, not in a manner that's divisive. And again, I'll talk about politics if I fucking want to. You got that? That's it. Because I'm not using them as a cudgel to make you hate your neighbor.
Damn.
That's it. It's not a cudgel to make you hate your neighbor. It's not. And it doesn't need to be. But the media treats it that way. Our political machine treats it that way. Politics is okay to talk about. Just don't use it in a divisive manner and you're good to go. That's it. That's how we roll. That's how we do this. This show is about you. This show is about us. Again, like I said, we started with Frank and I against the world. And look what we gained. All of you. All of you. You see? It can be done. Spread the message. It's okay. It's okay to not be perfect. It's okay to be wrong. It's okay to disagree and still like each other. And that's what the show's about. I mean, if you break it down, that's really what it's about. Go ahead, buddy. And then I'll finish this up.
Thanks, guys, for stopping by, joining us in the conversation. I hope you guys enjoy it just as much as we do. We actually enjoy doing this. We don't just show up at our 9 to 5 and fucking clock in and do this crap. Like, we enjoy these conversations. These are important conversations. And we're glad that you guys call in and you're excited about it and you have input on it. So really, it's really awesome, Love you guys. Glad seeing you every week, and I'll keep coming back if you do too.
How about that? Look at that. Ash just dropped the alien gauntlet on the dirty Mars red sand. All right, as we finish, listen to Troubled Minds Radio. We do this Tuesday and Friday night. You can listen to me, Michael Strange, Conspiracy News, Sunday through Thursday, live on Twitch. Ash, plug your channel real fast. Let's finish this up.
Check me out. I'm Ash, the Reptilian from Mars. Plug that into YouTube. It's still a very new channel. Please, if you click on the link, just hit the subscribe button. You can ignore my content. That's fine. Just help me out. Hit the subscribe button. Grow my viewers. I'm still really early. All that really helps a lot. So I really appreciate it. And if you hit the likes, I love it too. Get in before the trolls start downvoting, the more support I get, the more I'll get into it and I'll get more done. And I have a lot of crazy thoughts. And if you guys thought any of this was interesting, I've got a million more. So, love you guys. Please hit my channel up and see you there.
You're listening to Troubled Minds Radio. I'm your host, Michael Strange, here with Ash the Reptilian from Mars. From our Troubled Minds